Hello, friends. Hi. Lance, what are you having issues with? Oh, the 69 command? Yeah, it's. Wait. Why is it so many? How many minutes is that? Oh no. Is it cause I think I have it set for 24 hours in between, maybe? Maybe that's the issue. Maybe I changed that. I'll lower it a little. Uh, Poncho doesn't seem to be live yet, so I think I have time. In theory. Where is it? Because that sounds like a lot of... That's another 51.5 hours. Why do I have it? That doesn't even make sense. Um... Let's make it... that instead. Try it now. Try now. Maybe it's better now. Maybe I fixed it. Yeah, because I want you guys to only be able to use it once per stream. But I think I made it too much between.
Nice.
Got you. There we go. Okay, we solved it. We solved it. I fixed it. I fixed problems here. Looking at the array of problems I'm not going to be able to fix right in front of me. I'm getting more nervous. The closer we get to actually doing this, I'm very nervous. I'm pretty...
Nice.
Oh my god. Were you guys like down... When, were you guys trying to... How many 69s were failed? Oh man, I'm so sorry. I look fancy, thank you. Don't tell Poncho. I didn't go to sleep last night. So I washed my face and then put makeup back on, and then I changed it to a red dress, cause spicy. The fire. So I put on red, cause red, fire, hot sauce, same thing. I'm sorry, Fishzilla. I don't know who Stormantha is. I mean, Stormy, I'm good. I don't know about Stormantha though. I don't know how she's doing. You've been up since 5. I'm sorry, Lay. On a Sunday? Why didn't I sleep? So why didn't I sleep? Good question. We had stream, and then I had to come. I spent a few hours delving into Poncho's backstory, the lore of Poncho, if you will, and coming up with more questions. And then, you know, the time change thing, I was just like, if I go to sleep, the odds of me waking up late are getting like higher and higher the later it gets. With every minute, the chances that I oversleep go up. So it's like, if I just don't sleep and take a nap after, I'll be good. So I was just like, no sleep. I also woke up at like 3 p.m. yesterday, so it's not like I've been up for like 27 hours. I'm dying. I'm fine. You went to the gym at 7? Nice. Today? Already? You went and exercised? I'm so proud of you, Lanish. I want to be like you when I grow up. Will I? No. I will not. But you know, I want to. One day. I was in a call with Poncho before we went live, just to like finalize little details. The last secondness of it all. And Addie was helping set up the sauces and wings for him. And I think there may have been like a spillage or an incident of some kind. So that may be why he's late. But he's coming. He's on his way. You have the knees of an 80-year-old? Tell me about it. You guys know I sit like a bisexual. I can't, like right now, I was sitting normal and I just now switched it because I wasn't comfortable. And streaming every day, I'm sitting like this every day for long periods of time, every day. And my knees are screaming at me by the end. Screaming. Like, I have to sit there and, like, my dog's screaming at me because she wants food, and I'm just like, I gotta move my knees. You gotta hold on a second. Is that another bi trait? Yeah, it's called bisexual sitting. It's a thing. Bisexuals are known for not being able to sit normal. I don't know why, but I've heard it on the internet, and I was like, that explains a lot. Your chair's tilted to the right because you can't sit normal. Oh my gosh. Your whole chair, or just like over time it like started to tilt? You still don't get it, if that's okay. You don't have to get it. It's not even that important. I'm sitting cross-legged in my chair. Yesterday during the Plague Tale stream, I was moving all over the place because my knees hurt. But I couldn't sit normal and let them stretch. I don't need just my butt in the chair. All of my being has to be above the seat of the chair. I don't make the rules. I just work here. Over time, you just noticed it last month. Damn. I'm gonna be like looking at my chair differently now. I'm like, is it tilting? Because like when I'm just here vibing, I mean, usually, I think I lean more to the right usually. Sometimes I'll switch. It depends on what I'm doing because my show that I'm watching and game that I'm playing varies. It all depends. Fascinating. Something to keep track of. I'm gonna keep an eye on my chairs from now on. I do want to show you guys. I made dino nuggies for me. Dino nuggies. And I have all the hot sauces right here. I was gonna do, Poncho has a fancy lineup of all the bottles. I'm too lazy to go find a table and bring it up here and set it up so that you guys can see it the whole time. So if you guys want to see the bottle, I'll show you guys. I have them all right here. I unsealed them all last night. They're ready to go. They're waiting to meet the dinosaurs. They're gonna go to the museum. Lunch of Champions. It's 10 a.m. for me. This is breakfast. You and me both. Oh, monkey. Oh, no. I think we're all in the same boat. None of our knees work well. Hello. Hello, Orc Boy. How are you? How has it been? Have you still been playing Atlas? How was that? It looked cool. I only saw it, I think, the one time. But it looks like something that Poncho and I would have a lot of like goofy fun if we ever played it. Oh, I also have a list of all the hot sauces and like descriptions. So if you're curious, I'm not good at describing flavors. So I can pull this out and let you guys know what it's allegedly supposed to be. I have my water for emergencies. Buy myself a little treat, a little McFlurry for emergencies. And I forgot to grab tissue. I'm gonna grab tissue in case stuff starts leaking. Gonna visit your mom? Nice. Oh, people do RP in Atlas? It's not just like Sea of Thieves, like, kind of scene? You guys wondered the flavor profiles? I got you. I don't have all of the same ones as Poncho because Poncho's allergic to things. So some of mine are going to be different than his. For the most part, I think we have a lot of the same ones. Oreo McFlurry, best McFlurry. I like the M&M. I almost bought they have like the Shamrock one right now. But then I was like, if these hot sauces do make me sick and stuff comes out, it's going to be green and I don't like the sound of that. So we went with M&M, which still runs a risk, actually, now that I think about it. But the Shamrock just looked nauseating in the moment. It's like Ark meets Sea of Thieves. I never played Ark. I was interested in it. My roommate that I didn't like was playing it. That's one of the dinosaurs, right? Or am I thinking of something else? The game he was playing had dinosaurs. I'm gonna run and grab some tissue in case I need it for emergencies. I need my emergency bench ready to go. And then Poncho might just be ready. Aw, hell. I don't have enough. Guys, I need a new desk. Remind me to buy a new desk. Get napkins, wet napkins? Nah. I'll get tissues for my leaky eyes and nose. And I will simply not touch anything with my hands. So the thing is, I'm not eating wings. I'm eating nuggies, so I get to just dip. So I'm not gonna get hot sauce on my hands. I'm not too concerned, but I'm still gonna be careful. I'm gonna be careful. I promise. Okay. So in case of emergencies, we're set. I think I remembered everything. I think I'm good to go. Ah. Oh, and punch is good.
Get style. So she's dipping it in her sauces.
Hello.
Oh, hello. We're talking about how you're dipping nugs today.
Yes, I'm a nuggy girl.
I'm a nuggy girl in a nuggy world.
Need this on my playlist. Nugs,
All
not
right,
drugs.
I'm transferring to the scene.
Yes, same. I too am doing that.
And I'll see you in a
Why
minute.
did that do? Okay.
I don't know why I'm like saying that. Like,
I'm
not gonna be talking
I'm
to you
on
actively
toggle
while I
mute
do it.
instead of push to talk, and it's
Maybe I'm just
weird.
saying I'll see you in a minute to my chat.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna disappear for a second. We have another scene so that you guys can see our Discord videos. So,
Aha.
just a moment. I will be right back.
Also, I'm just
Check
kind of
it from
doing
the
a
camera.
joint thing. I should just pull up your chat at the same time, honestly.
There
That
it
way we
is.
can just talk to both of our chats at the same time. Because I don't think I'm gonna be muting.
Deactivate. Yeah, no, I'm going toggle mute.
I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna be like, because in the middle of all this, I don't expect to be toggle muting. I think I'm just gonna talk to both of our chats at the same time. You know,
True.
the only thing that makes sense. Otherwise, I'll be watching you like silently speak
Why
to
am I small?
your chat the entire time, and that's wild. There we go. There we go. That's the setup. I did it.
Poncho, what'd you do? Cause it has you big and oh, I forgot I'm not push to talk. It has you big and me tiny, and what? Oh,
Top
I fixed
right.
it.
Yeah, there's the panel. Yeah,
Fixed it.
got it.
Ooh,
You got it. You got there.
need to
And then
adjust it
if
here.
it seems like it's we're a little too low on the screen, make sure you have the streamer mode purple bar thing at the top turned off. And that will center us
Smart.
perfectly on the overlay. Let's go.
Actually, let me do a
Alright,
thing.
and then I'm just gonna open up your stream so I can see your chat at the same time, because now that I'm on camera on your stream, I don't want to be like silently talking to my chat.
Sure.
We can joint this. I bet I believe in us.
Yeah.
You look confused.
Try to think if how to get your chat.
You look.
Do I just go to your? I just go to yours and pop it out and throw it into OBS. I've done this.
I think Stormy's broken.
Chat. And then steal that, and then throw it into here, and then.
I'm excited.
Are my docs locked? Is that what's happening?
Don't worry about muting. You can talk to your chat and I can listen.
Was I muted?
Yeah.
Oh, oops.
So I was like, okay, she's still not responding to this thing I
What?
said about how we don't need to be muted. She really wants to be muted, I guess.
No, I was
She,
I was talking to myself
can-
about how to get your chat to click into OBS. not
oh
going.
yeah, sure. I just have two windows layered on top of each other.
Oh, okay.
Look, the jank is real. I'm excited.
I know how to do this. I know what I'm doing. Custom dog.
I am backwards, Addy. That's just what Discord does. Discord's just gonna, on my stream,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be flipped, and on Stormy's stream, she's gonna be flipped. So if you want to look at me in a non-flipped format, you gotta go watch Stormy's stream, and if you want to look at Stormy in a non-flipped format, you gotta come watch my stream. That's what we're offering here at the Hot Ones with Stormy and Poncho. That's the level of detail. Uh, oh, good, great. I see we already have some Hot Ones quotes dropping in your chat. So I will say,
Oh,
this
the
motherfucker over
nuggies.
here, Da Bomb, did already cause some collateral damage. And also when I told you earlier when we were getting ready, and I mentioned that the classic had made a mess because the cap was broken.
Yes.
I was wrong. The reason Da Bomb was sticky is because its cap was broken. So my cap on Da Bomb is broken. It's so caustic it burnt its way through through its own cap. But Addie is an extremely sensitive smeller.
Oh,
it's like her
my mom
superpower
is
and her
too.
curse.
Yeah.
And she when she opened up Da Bomb, she like was retching. Like she was like, it smells so bad. It smells so like wretched.
Disastrous.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh poor Adel.
If I overlay the webcam with
Our
my
sweet
camera,
girl.
then I won't be transmitting my camera to Stormy. Trust me, we're not looking for troubleshoots right now. We got this. It's fine. I can
Yeah.
be flipped. This is a life that I'm okay with.
Attempts were made to fix it. They all failed. So here we go.
The only solution would have been to fuck around with virtual cameras, and I say fuck that.
Yeah, we also tried it at like, it was what, 5 a.m. my time?
Yeah,
Like 7
yeah.
or 4 and 7 or something.
But we want to be transmitting to each other so that everyone gets to see our pretty faces as we eat these hot wings. Okay, I'm excited. Are you excited?
Yeah.
I'm also like, it's funny, like the moment I sat down with all the sauces and the wings, I genuinely got like actual nervous.
Yeah, I got nervous today. I've been excited until today. I was like, oh fuck, what have we done?
Poncho flipped his off while flipped, lol.
I'm making a poll.
Oh yeah?
Yes, for who chat thinks is gonna hold up the most here.
Oh wow.
I'm curious,
Alright.
and then at the end we will find out.
Alright, I'll put this poll. I'll set up this poll too. Isn't that a prediction? You mean a prediction?
Yes. I do those often.
They can gamble their channel points.
That's what
if you
I
do
meant.
prediction. Yeah. Okay, so it's who do you think will what's the criteria for holding up the best? Is it like number of drinks? Do we have to, you and I have to agree who handled it better?
Either
What if we
us
both
or
just handle it? What if we both just handle it great? Then it becomes this weird like gray area where like we have to, you know, it's a determination.
I don't know, but 10. What is this? How do I end this? There's a
What did you do?
I did the prediction and it pulled up a prediction from 10. About will I finish in the top 10, and I don't know what this is from. I don't know how to end it. 10, I need your help. Can you do a prediction for me?
Chris is suggesting first to go to milk or some kind of like.
That's
The
not
person
fair.
who
I have
first,
a
like,
McFlurry that's
buckles.
tempting me. That's not fair.
But the
Was-
whole point is to try and this gives us motivation out of pride not to be the first one to dip in. Not to be the first one to tap out. I think that's got to be it. The
But,
first one to
I
go
mean,
to.
maybe, but like
No?
also, what if like I'm crying but refusing to go to milk and you
Then
do it?
That's you
but,
toughing
like,
it out.
But
if you're
I
sitting there
took it
like
worse,
literally
though.
like
I don't know.
writhing on the ground crying, and then I'm like, ooh, I can't handle this. I drink the milk. It's like, you drinking
Fair.
the milk, Poncho? She's dying.
My overlay was at the bottom. I fixed it. Yeah, we'll do the first to milk. That
Okay,
works then. First to milk.
Are not okay. All right. So is the prediction who's gonna be first to fold? Like
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do that. My
Because it'd be weird if it was
Let's do
like
it.
you were like who's gonna handle it better, and then I was like who's gonna handle it worse. Because then when people were predicting in each chat, it'd be like
Yeah.
this weird like wait, it's the negatives, positives.
yeah, the like
Who's going to
accidental.
fold
Yeah.
to the wings of death first? Oh, that's too many characters.
Christopher, you do not need to donate bits to me. You and Addie are just out of control. Monsters. Yes, you can use both our predictions and get points. I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
If you put points
You can
in the
hedge your
opposite
bets.
person, yeah.
No matter what,
matter
one
what
of the
you
chats
win,
you get channel
you will
points.
win.
Are you
Someone's
doing
gonna do it.
Stormy number 1 and Poncho number 2, or for the
Ask 10.
I'm just trying to. The prediction is
can't work it.
10. The prediction on Stormy's. I got you, Stormy. Hey,
Thank you.
10. How you doing? This is, I wrote who's going to fold to the wings first, and I think it should be Stormy, Poncho, and then like maybe neither for a third option. Because like, what if we make it the whole way without either of us dipping? So there's got to be a neither. There's got to be a neither. So I have Stormy as 1, Poncho as 2, and then neither. Neither I think is like the boldest.
I'm not gonna ban you, Chris. I'm not gonna ban you.
And then submission period. Let's go 5 minutes. Stormy and I can talk for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Also, we're not gonna fold on the first one. So.
Yeah, no. I don't expect at least the first like 5. Like I think we'll be solid through those.
10. My body is ready. 10.
Oh, if the same heat level taps us, yeah, we definitely need like a tie, like kind of option.
Well, that's neither. Yeah.
Yeah.
Neither folded first. All right.
Yeah.
Do it. 10. Go. All right. We did it.
Cool. I want to comment on how fancy your spread of wings is.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
well, like, it's
I'm
adorable.
voting. I'm also putting channel points on neither with a prediction custom amount. I'm gonna vote on Stormy's channel. I'm voting 10,000 of my channel points on neither. I think Stormy and I both are gonna make it all the way through.
Okay.
That's how much I believe in us. So now that's extra money for any of you who want to vote on Stormy or Poncho.
Fascinating.
I've sweetened the pot with potentially the least likely outcome. All right. Oh, I'm nervous but so excited.
Yeah.
Love how you're dunking your chicky nuggies in the sauce, and then I have boneless wings that I'm going to be stabbing with a fork, which like was partially because I wanted to be able to like touch my computer without like transferring hot sauce onto my computer.
Yeah.
But also it serves the added benefit by the fact that I don't have a lot of room, so I do have to like reach over to get them.
Oh no. Yeah, I have mine all right here in the corner, so it's blocking like my audio mixer and stuff a little bit, but that's fine. It's worth it.
All right. Are you ready to get going, Storm? You ready to do this?
Oh boy, am I.
Okay.
I think so. I think we're good. I think we can get started.
Okay.
I'm gonna have a little taste of my McFlurry before we start, so that it doesn't count because it's before the hot sauce.
Sure. I am gonna drink water specifically because I just don't want my throat to get dry.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I am satiated.
Okay.
My hands are...
Okay. So, hey everyone, from Initially We Eat, I'm Tommy Cotton with, I'm Poncho, this is Stormy. We're here, the show with spicy questions and even spicier wings.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh my god.
From Initially We Eat. That was sitting on that joke this entire time.
Initially We Eat. I didn't know he was gonna say that. He didn't tell me this.
I'm joined here today by Stormy's here too. An amazing streamer of 2 years now. She's known for her lack of ability to play scary games in any capacity. Her amazing 1v4 clutches as Jet, and you can catch her every day this month as she goes through her own March Muchness marathon stream where she streams literally every day, taking breaks, of course.
It's not all day every day.
It's not all day every day. We're not talking Palooza type shit here. You can catch her, of course, here. I'll drop the link in the chat. As soon as I remember how to use my stream deck. It's so far away from me now. Yeah. Hi. Hi, Stormy. How's it going?
I'm not good with introducing people.
You don't have
This
to.
is Poncho.
This is
Poncho.
Poncho.
He's pretty cool. Look at his fashion sense, and he also is a really, really good person, a really nice friend, and I'm gonna make him cry before doing. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna get too sappy, but love Poncho. He streams really, really goodly, and super fun. And you guys should play Apex with him on Mondays, or whatever game.
It's
Join his
Valo's
community nights.
That's on this Monday's Valo.
Ooh. Swift
I'm
play
also
Valo Mondays.
I'm gonna be doing the coaching VOD review on Wednesday.
Oh, this Wednesday?
This Wednesday, I'm gonna be
no, you
streaming
told me
my
about
first VOD review with my professional Valorant coach.
Oh shit. He's basically a pro, guys. You guys join community nights and play with a pro. Do it.
Stormy, how are you around spicy food?
It's pretty much all I eat.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's fair, that's fair.
So
you're feeling pretty confident in the,
I want to say yes. In theory, yes.
yeah.
But I don't know what the Scovilles I usually consume are, so I'm like, I'm not sure.
That's the world I'm living in. Having done the Pocky One Chip Challenge recently on stream, I'm like, like part of me is like, oh well, there's no way that this can be worse, and then the other part of me is like, what if it's worse though?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
And like 2 days ago, I watched that Jenna Ortega. She did Hot Ones, and like she held it together well, but like her eyes, you could see it. You just can tell.
You can tell there's like the soul is.
Thank you for the follow,
escaping the
Silver.
body.
So sweet. Yeah, you can tell they're like, just like the glossed over, like,
yeah.
What is transcending?
Yeah,
like
almost like an out of body experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're going for here. We're looking for that high here. My understanding is after we're done conquering the wings of death, we will be forever changed, and we'll be united in this bond for the rest of our lives.
Oh yeah.
Story.
Yep. We've both done other spicy challenges, and I know mine changed me. So.
I like what was weird is when I ate the Pocky, it was less of like it didn't feel like I was eating spicy food. It somehow felt like I was eating like just pain. Like I was like chewing on glass or like nails or something. And I was like, this is a different experience of spice than I've ever had in my life, because it doesn't feel like it's hitting the pain receptors like spice does. It just feels like it's just like stabbing pain into my tongue.
Oh no.
We'll see. Surely this won't. Yeah, I'm trying not to be overly confident about this. I'm trying to be reasonable about the fact that like this could be pretty bad. But then there's a part of me that is like, I think I might crush it.
Yeah, no, I've been telling chat like all week, like, I think I'm gonna be fine. I think I'll do better than Poncho. And then today I'm like, oh fuck, wait, no, I have doubts.
I will say it is a different feel the moment you actually are staring down the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Right? The moment I lined up all the sauces, I was fine up until the moment I lined up all the sauces, and then I set down the wings and I was like, oh fuck. So
and
I'm
like
shaky.
the ones that I had originally, the version of Da Bomb that I had, you explained how like the extracts in the one you had were gonna make it more painful.
The Beyond Insanity,
right?
the one that's
so
on the
I
show,
ordered that so we'd have the same one. And then when I was swapping them last night so I wouldn't get them confused, I saw the difference in the colors.
Yeah,
the one I had was much like lighter.
Toxic. It's the one that made Addie almost throw up when she opened it.
Yeah, looking at the colors, I was like, oh no, this is gonna be different. It's gonna hurt.
It's gonna be tough. Lanish thinks we're gonna kill it. Thank you, Lanish.
Lanish.
Also, hi Kyoshi, Dad.
Hi Kyoshi.
Okay.
Kyoshi was in chat before stream started asking if it was happening, so.
Oh, it's happening.
Oh, it's happening.
Hi.
It's going down.
So we're going to be asking each other questions while we eat these wings, interviewing each other, as it were, a mutual interview, and we will also be dropping in some fan submitted questions in the middle here. So let's get to it. You ready? You ready to start?
I'm not on push shock. Yes.
Okay. So let's get ready. Hold on, let me grab one
right,
of my
we have
many
to
forks.
actually.
Yeah, we have to eat the wing. All right, so this is we have some similarities and some differences because you have the full season 17 box.
Yes.
And then I have some of the season 17 wings, but I also had to sub in other ones to deal with my allergies.
Yes.
So this one we're eating here is the
the classic.
Is the classic hot sauce. We have different labels, but it's the same sauce.
Yeah.
And that's at 1800, rings in at 1800 Scovilles. 1800 Scovilles.
Yes. Easy.
Cheers.
I have to get my nuggie. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. I'm ready when you are.
Okay, go. I would use that one. I would eat normal food with that.
It's like restaurant hot sauce.
Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah.
I'm asking first question, yeah?
I can fuck with this. No, it goes me, you, me.
You said it's who receives the question.
Yeah,
you
receive the question. SPS means Stormy, Poncho, Stormy. Stormy receives one, Poncho receives one, Stormy receives one.
Oh, I thought the P was first.
No. SPS is wing one.
Then go ahead.
Okay. So, Stormy, women in streaming have so many extra barriers and hurdles to contend with on a daily basis when compared to their male counterparts. From sexism to harassment and threats, it's no wonder that in 2021, only one of the top 50 viewed content creators on Twitch was a woman. What is it about streaming and gaming that has made you want to stick to it for all of these years, despite how unwelcoming and even sometimes hostile it can be to people like you? Like, what's your port in the storm, as it were?
I mean, not to be cheesy, a very strong, reason for me wanting to continue is kind of a little fear of, if I step away or leave completely, I might lose my friends who are still in the space. Because we won't, just that connection of, we're not streaming together, we're not really gaming together anymore because your guys are working and I'm not in those projects now. Plus, the community people they're so encouraging, and that's really it. Just the people involved in streaming, because I can play games in my room by myself and not be harassed any day, but just having that connection, I don't leave my house. This is my connection. This is my socialization. So even if occasionally I have to deal with some interesting occurrices,
some interesting characters, as it were. I mean, assholes. We mean assholes.
Yeah, pretty much. It makes it worth it to, once they're gone, to have that drowned out by the positivity of the communities that us and our group have been able to cultivate somehow. I'm just keeping it together.
Send creepy Discord DMs. Yes, exactly.
Please don't join my Discord and immediately DM me weird things.
How about just don't ever DM? Don't wait. Don't join and then wait and then send
don't wait
weird things.
either. Just don't.
Turns out people are humans. Treat them like humans. Okay.
Yeah. It's an interesting concept. I did not write mine as fancifully worded and professionally as you.
Get ready. I wrote a lot.
You went right in with okay.
Yeah, go in with a nice thoughtful one right away.
Yeah. So you, to my knowledge, I remember you coming out. I think was your first time coming out as polyamorous on stream. Pretty early into your streaming time. I was wondering if were any specific triggers, anything that happened to make you come to the realization and want to come forward with that when you did.
When you say triggers, you mean
something that sparked that, made it click.
Okay, yeah. God. Okay. Well, I've told this story before, which is which was the For the longest time, I thought I was a piece of shit. Because I had a lot of trouble with monogamy, and specifically would have situations where my relationships would end because I would develop feelings for somebody else, and I was raised within a world like many of us are, with monogamy kind of presented as like the only thing that exists. Um, I was like, well, then you're not allowed to have feelings for two people at once. You have to choose. Take any fucking rom-com or anything that has a love triangle, right? Yes, you have to choose. So basically, I was like, well, it was always really hard because I genuinely had feelings for more than one person at a time. I was like, my feelings for this person doesn't diminish my feelings for this person. I like, what am I supposed to do? That led to a really, really messy situation in one of my first long-term relationships that got like really messy and hurt everyone involved. And made me feel really, really guilty about the way I went about handling that. Cause I was like, well, I have to figure out who I like more and all this other shit. And so like that led me to on a lifetime journey of having moments where I if I develop feelings for somebody, that I made a rule where it's like the moment I start developing feelings for somebody else, I have to cut ties with the person I'm with no matter how much I care about them. And that obviously sucked too for everyone, and like it made me sad because I was like, I don't want to break up, but I have to because I didn't know it at the time. Society says I have to. And so basically all that led to a really like weird complex I had. And then for a while it didn't come up again. And so I was like, I actually was like, I was so fucking indoctrinated into assuming that there was only one way to love people. Um, uh, that I was like, oh, I'm fixed. And then eventually like it started to like bubble up again. And then luckily shout out to Versus Vices, who everyone has seen in my chat, fellow streamer and someone who I worked with for about 10 years. She's polyamorous, and I'd always known the word polyamory and what it meant, but like a lot of people, I confused it with polygamy, and then like many other people as well, conflated it with the Mormon Church, and so I was immediately like, oh, that's probably I don't need to fuck with that. Like I never really looked into it, but then I just saw like polyamory as like was Versus and her two loving partners, and them just like having this like non-monogamous functional thing going on. And so like I had seen that, I was like, oh, that's what polyamory is. Like I had made that mental note like years ago. And then when I started like having those like that moment again where I was like, wait, I am able to have feelings for more than one person. And I was like, I have to stamp that down. You gotta stamp that down. And then I stopped and I was like, just look over at Versus, and I'm like, wait a second. And so then I sat there and I thought about it for a little while. And let me tell you, it is still requiring a lot of work to unpack monogamy. And definitely I felt like even in the realization, the relief wasn't immediate, because I still felt like extreme like shame and guilt, like I was somehow doing the wrong thing. So also shout out to Addie, who was my long-term partner.
All the homies stan Addie
for years. And when I like finally was like fucking tears streaming down my face, so you're like, I think this is the thing, because I was like afraid that like it would lead to like, oh, she'd be like, okay, well, I can't do polyamory, that's not for me, which is a totally valid thing, by the way. Polyamory doesn't have to be for everyone. So like, and I was like, but this is who I am, this is how I feel. Boop. And Addie was like, yeah, I kind of always knew. The way you talked about your past relationships, like I just kind of figured that was like a thing. So like, it's okay, you're fine, we're good. And then the road's not easy, but that was huge, because it would have been messy. The relief started the moment Addie accepted it. Which like she didn't have to. The relief could have started later when I got over Addie being like, no, fuck you, and leaving me, but that didn't happen. So everything worked out extra good.
Hell yeah.
Hi, Hells.
Hi, Goofy.
Right. Hi, Goofy. Okay, so last question for you, Stormy, then we'll move on to Wing 2. when you were around 10 years old, you got sick of your terrible life in lovely temperate Southern California, and you dreamed of cooler and wetter climates. What is it about the rainy
Mhm.
aesthetic of the state of Washington that made it your dream to live there for over a decade? And now that you're there, why can't you imagine yourself being content living anywhere else?
So the short answer, sun hurt my eyes. Don't like. uh, I don't like it. It's hot. I don't like being hot. If I am warm and sweaty, I am a bitch. I'm so angry and uncomfortable in the heat. I don't like the sun. It gives me headaches. So the clouds and the amount, like how frequently we get rain here, perfect. My hometown, it would maybe rain a couple times a year if we were lucky. So it's like, it was like this, like, rare thing that I rarely got to experience, and I enjoyed it, you know, on those days, like those cozy days of just, it's raining outside, so I don't have to go outside. I can sit on my couch with a blanket and some coffee and my dog and be comfy all day. I get to do that all the time now. Like every day, almost.
Are you saying you're just looking for excuses to not go outside?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
it looks like people are relating. Hell's relates.
I don't go outside. This is not outside skin. It's just not. I burn. So
Wonderful.
my goal has been reached. I'm here. I'm sure if another place can have comparable weather, I would be willing to move there too.
Yeah, you have.
But not Florida.
The question implied that you couldn't really imagine living anywhere else, but I know that you've like. I think there was one point where like Scotland was floating. You're like, it rains there.
I just want to live in England too, because I've heard it rains a lot in England.
Rainy.
Yes.
If it's overcast and rainy, I love it.
I have low standards. Just give me the rain. I'm happy.
Yeah, Bite and Bite brings up a good point because I have a Bite refers to himself as a human barometer. I get headaches when like storm fronts roll in, like when the barometric pressure changes a lot.
Oh.
So I wonder if living in the state of Washington would actually lead to me getting more headaches.
I will say, when I did move out here, I never had allergies when back home. And when I moved out here, I did start having some allergy flare-ups randomly, and I was like, what is happening to me? This isn't normal. So the like change in temperature and stuff, I guess, fucked me up for a bit. So that was a downside.
I love Luno quoting "Sun hurt my eyes."
Oh my god, I didn't even notice. Luno.
Love it. Perfect. Boo was shouting
I
for
stand
somebody
by
to do it.
I stand by it.
Okay. All right, you ready for wing number 2?
Yes.
All right, so this is another one that we have in common.
We do.
This is Dawson's Cedar Smoked.
My bottle's so much cooler than yours.
Well, mine has the wax too, but yes,
oh, you
yours
took it
waxes.
off. Okay.
No.
Why.
This was they cut it themselves. I think
Oh.
they probably did it because the way they're packaged is different. Because mine's
Yeah.
in a smaller box. I got them in 3s, right?
Right.
But yeah, I saw the wax seal. It's just they didn't leave the drippies. But yeah, Dawson's Cedar Smoked Garlic Hot Sauce. This rings in at about 7,000 Scovilles.
This is a little thick boy, a little chunky.
It's a little chunky. Yeah, the other one, the
it was
classic
really
is
thin.
Yeah,
The
really
first
thin.
one.
I'm ready when you are. I got it forked. I'm forked up.
Okay, I'm dipping. I'm dipping. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. That was really garlicky.
It is.
I don't like it.
I don't think it's bad, but it's really garlicky. I will say right now, I'm confidently like eating the entire like boneless wing, just like stabbing it with a fork and shoving it in my mouth. I have to imagine at some point, like I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna eat half of this one.
The bottle's cool. The sauce is.
It's-
Maybe if it was like cooked into something, it might be okay, but
I think that's a really good point.
just on like
Yeah,
the surface of a nugget, not good.
It's very heavy on garlic.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Chris. It's very heavy on the garlic, but like the smoky spice of it is actually really tasty. The garlic does kind of feel a little overpowering.
Yeah.
Not a lot. But like, you know.
Thanks, Chris. Ugh.
I'm like talking so much. I want to drink water just to keep like.
I know.
lubricating my,
I'm like, I
throat.
drink water so much throughout streams,
know.
and I keep looking at it. I'm
Pride.
like,
We're here for the pride.
cannot. I will refrain, even though it's not about the spice. We're not giving into the spice, but
Exactly.
all right. If anyone doesn't know, Poncho and Addy and other people have been involved in creating their own RPG for many, many years. It's been a long time coming.
Shout out Manifest the RPG.
Manifest the RPG. What like made you decide to take on like that kind of a endeavor? Was it just I want to make game, or was there like more that went into like actually deciding and committing to do the thing?
So the origin of that was I managed a game store for about 10 years. And for the first like couple years of that, I was like the manager. And I put that in air quotes because there was a general manager, and then they hired a bunch of like people who had never like held a job before. And so they always sucked at closing the place down because it was open at that time. That game store was open past midnight. And so like they had people who were just like, they would forget to like fucking lock the back door and shit like that. And so they created a role called the night manager, which was just to give me the authority if I ever was working with somebody else at night to boss them around and tell them how to close the store down.
Okay.
That was like my literal only responsibility was to just tell the people who were closing like not to forget to do the closing stuff, lock the doors and turn off the lights and all that stuff. And so like that was it. And then also if ever there was a point where someone was like, I need to speak to a manager, that was me. That was just for the first couple years, and then eventually I just became general manager after the general manager left, and then I was just there all the time, and I just trained people how to fucking close the store properly. But anyways, wild, I know. But anyways, the reason that's important is because a lot of times I was closing by myself. So I was there, and like the events, like we'd have special events, like board gaming events where people would just like hang out and they'd be in their room playing. So like I had nothing to do. No one was shopping. Everyone was just playing like fucking Dungeons and Dragons. So I was just sitting in the room with nothing to do. And sometimes when I was working with another person, he and I would make up some games together. Like we'd like take the business cards and we'd draw like stuff on the back of the cards and like make a card game out of it, right? Or we'd roll some dice and assign like some kind of like significance to the dice rolls. And that like made me think about game design in a different way. And so that kind of snowballed into eventually on these days where I was completely alone, like closing late at night, I'll be like, I wonder like if I could make an RPG. Wouldn't it be cool if an RPG had like these mechanics, the tabletop RPG? And so then I started messing around with that, and I had a friend, like I'd go home and I'd stay up till like 5 a.m. because I was, the night I always worked at nights. And so like I had a friend who also was up during that time, so I bounce ideas off of him, and then I'd be like, here, let's play test this. You play, like, here's a character sheet, like, let's go. And then that just kept happening. It never stopped being fun, so I just kept doing it. And it got more and more complex and kept growing, and I started adding new layers to it. And that went on for a couple years, and then I eventually, like, more and more people kept being like, you should do something with this. You should actually like do it. And so the thing that stopped me was I was like, well, there's this one part of the game that like to design it the way I want to, I'd have to do a lot of math, and that seems like a lot of work. And then Addy was like, I'm good at math. So then Addy did the math, and that's when Addy came in, and that's why it's from there on out for the rest of the development of the game, Addy was there to help like crunch like any, like I'd be like, this is how I want it to work, and she'd be like, okay, in order for that to work, this is how the math has to work. And then she like helped create a bunch of the systems, and then she's a creative writer, so she helped create a lot of the world. And then the two of us collabed on that for a really, really long time. And then that's been going on for like fucking 7 or 8 years now. We did a Kickstarter for it, and it has been a truly painful process to try and get, because like COVID hit, and then we fucked up all of our like estimations and delivery dates, and we underestimated the workload, and it's just been really, really slow process, but it has been moving forward. It's been painful, it's been emotional, it's been stressful, But we still haven't given up on it. And for a little while, we weren't giving up on it because we felt guilty that we had told people we were going to make it, and we were struggling to make it. But now, now that part's done, and now I'm actually
Mhm.
just I like the game and it's fun, and I have this I've literal like almost like a decade of history with this game and this world, and like I can think all the way back to the very early play tests, and it's TTRPGs is about collaborative storytelling and like building a world together, and it feels extra cool when you're building a world that then becomes like a canonized game that exists, because a lot of the stuff that
Right.
exists is stuff that like my friends came up with on the spot in a session. They're like, this is what the name of the religion is. I was like, it is now. And I wrote that down, and that's just what it is forever now. And that just feels cool. It's like, I guess that's why people like playing Minecraft and stuff like that, you know, creating
Maybe.
permanent change to a world.
Yeah. Nice.
For you, I have a question.
Yes.
As a diehard fan of the 1986 musical fantasy film Labyrinth, how? Oh, hello, thank you, whoever just joined the crew. Sorry, my the alert startled me. Hi, Gavin guy. As a diehard fan of the 1986 musical fantasy film Labyrinth, how do you feel about the fact that modern filmmaking techniques and special effects have moved us away from the use of puppeteering and animation that made Jim Henson's work an iconic part of movie history? In your opinion, what is it about that aesthetic that makes it resonate so profoundly with you and so many others?
Okay. So for as far as the techniques and filmmaking and stuff, I'm no buff or anything. I think they're really cool. Modernized, non-puppet effects are really cool. They have a way of being more immersive because you can tell they're or like they look more real. But it also makes people not respect older works because it's like outdated and bad, and that makes me angry. Don't talk bad about that movie or I'll cry. As far as the movie itself goes, I think part of it has to do with my mother is the one who showed it to me for the first time. We had a little girls' night. My mom, my sister, and I just had snacks, and she wanted to show me this movie from her childhood. And it was a nice bonding moment, so I associate that with my mom a lot. Fantasy elements, the magic of it, the like mysterious, like, is it a villain? Is he trying to help her? Kind of. At least the way I read into it. I think he's a good guy. It really caught my attention. I was 14 when I watched this for the first time, and it was so different from anything I had seen before because it was older, and I wasn't really allowed to watch much TV. So when I did, and it was this magic world with like talking dogs and goblins running around, I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And then I really like, music is something super important to me. So the songs in there were immediately able to latch onto my brain. I was singing Magic Dance immediately after watching that movie for like 3 days straight, just like asking my mom to watch the movie again. So just a collection of different aspects of it made me obsessed. Obsessed. Like, I still have movie posters downstairs from my phase.
It doesn't sound like it's a phase.
It's not a phase. It's not a phase.
It's not a phase.
It's not really a phase. You actually, right there in that bookshelf, that's a binder with like a clear cover over it, and inside of it is the movie poster for Labyrinth. That's the title, Labyrinth, and that's the ball. That's Jareth holding a ball. It's right there.
Wonderful.
It's there's little pieces.
The origin of Goblin Princess, your original
Yes,
username.
it is.
Because
yeah,
he's the Goblin King, so you would be the Goblin Prince.
Yeah, because, well, so David Bowie was like 60 or something at that time, and I was like, I'm 14. I can't be married to an old man, so I'll just be his daughter, and I'll be the Goblin Princess. And that was the birth of the username that I used since I was 14 until last year.
What a wild thing, wild cognizance for a teenager to have.
I was a smart kid. I was aware of those types of like. I was like.
Also, Boo's never seen Labyrinth. I just wanted to.
Oh, BB Boo, we're having a movie date.
I bet her response. I've clicked away, but I bet her response is bet.
Bet.
Fucking bet.
Oh, it
she
was
said
sold.
Damn.
Ah,
I made a guess.
hit and miss. It happens. It is my turn. I didn't think of which one to hit you with this time.
You mean you're not intricately structured in your preparation like this asshole?
No, sir.
David Bowie was 39 when he did Labyrinth.
I was still 14.
Yeah, no.
It might as well have been 60.
You were like 60, yeah.
Well, I think
Fair
at
point.
the time I watched it, he was in his 60s.
Oh, sure.
But I was still 14.
And he didn't age at all between 30 and however old he is now.
Well, yeah, he's an immortal. He's dead now. Thanks for that.
He hasn't aged. He hasn't aged today. Stormy, ask me the question. Stop thinking about David Bowie being dead.
Well, don't mention it. Okay. So you spent a lot of time in Chicago. And based on my research, Chicago is apparently well known for its mobster history. In your best mobstery-ish voice, can you say, leave the gun, take the cannoli?
All right, hold on. I'll pause the music for this.
Okay.
All right. You know, that was in New York.
Tell Wikipedia that.
Okay.
Oh, the movie? I don't know.
No. I think that line is from Godfather or something.
Yes, it was. I specifically
Or
looked up
Goodfellas? Okay.
I think I looked up Godfather quotes. I don't know.
Leave the gun, take to the cannoli. Well, the thing is, I don't know if I could do a good Chicago mobster voice, but I'll give it a shot. Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
All right.
There we go.
Cool.
That's all we got.
Cool.
I imagine there's more subtlety to. Yeah, see? Oh shit! It's like leave the gun, take the
Okay,
cannoli.
true.
Nah, you'll never catch me alive, Kappa.
I don't watch mobster movies, so I wouldn't have known any. I wasn't looking. I just thought it would be funny.
Wonderful. All right, wing number
All
3.
right.
Yeah?
Yes.
Let's do it.
That
So
is-
this wing is while you get your sauce pepped.
Yeah.
This wing is Clark and Hobson's Calabria hot sauce.
Ooh, it's dark.
It is. It rings in at 15,700 Scoville.
This one.
So quite a little bit of a jump here, mate. Looks really good.
I was showing the hot sauce. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Okay, I'm ready.
Cheers. I like that.
It's not bad.
I like that a lot. That's the kind of like when if I were to order, I don't really have much heat on it, but it tastes really good,
Yeah.
right? That's the one that like if I were to order hot sauce at a restaurant or like get like wings and choose the one that's not just buffalo, like the next step up, like this is what I would hope it would be. Like it tastes really fucking good. It's really tasty.
Yeah.
Not very spicy though.
No, there's a little bit there, but not too much.
All right, cool. So you were a very shy, nerdy kid growing up. I put nerdy in quotes in my notes because that's your words.
It's true.
And like many kids that shared those qualities, one of your only avenues for open expression was and attention was the theater. So you dipped your toes into every aspect of theater, from stage managing to lights and props to even makeup design. But understandably, the most challenging one for you was when you took to the stage as an actor. After suffering potentially your first ever panic attack when asked to perform a monologue for your acting class, how did you manage to overcome your textbook stage fright to be able to take to the stage in at least a few of your high school plays?
So the panic attack was actually the first musical assignment.
Oh, sure.
But yes.
Sure.
I'm sorry, what was the last part of the question?
It was just how did you manage to overcome, like, you had stage
Overcoming
fright.
it.
How did you manage to overcome it so that you could actually like take to the stage?
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you have any methods, or did you just fucking power through and disassociate?
So I think dissociating, I don't think I was aware of it at the time, but I think that was a large part of it looking back. So anytime I had a performance, except musicals, the panic was all the way through, but for like any play, monologue situation, it was absolute panic right before the performance, super chill during being on stage. I felt so calm, ready for it, and then back to panic right after.
It's like the moment you exit the wings,
Mhm.
you're fine, and the moment you get right backstage, it's like complete meltdown. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I didn't
Yeah.
stand on the right spot. I didn't.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I've
one of
both
my
witnessed that and experienced
Yeah.
it myself.
one of my plays, I remember it was a one act called All in the Timing, or it was a play called All in the Timing with a series of one acts, which are like short mini plays basically. And the one act I was part of was called Sure Thing, and it was basically two people were on a date, like a first date kind of thing, and we're talking, having conversation. Anytime someone said something the other didn't like, a bell was rung and like time was rewound. So some of the conversation, the lines would repeat, and the other person would have to like say something different. And it was scripted, and I said the wrong line, and then we got stuck in this like loop of wrong lines because we kept
trying to find your way back to the script.
Right. Like it took a while, and then I beat myself up for that for weeks. I was like, I cannot believe I did that. It was the first time we performed it for an audience. All the practices had been fine. I knew my lines. I knew them. And I whiffed that day, and I was so hard on myself. But then I remembered that next time I had a performance, I remembered it can't be worse than that. We're going to come back from it. We'll get back on track. And yeah, just along with dissociating and noticing my problems and fixing them in future performances, by the end, I was brave enough to audition for theater school. So the difference freshman and senior year theater was for me was massive.
Wonderful.
I was not the same person.
We love a good character arc.
Yeah, it was my character development. Wait, no, we just took the wing. I'm all confused. Yes.
The hot sauce has already addled the brain.
Yeah, well, it's like so much going on my desk
There's
that I'm
flustered. There's a lot of things.
There's a lot of things here.
I'm waiting for me to elbow this cup of soda. Just wait.
Oh
just
no!
completely
Don't do that. Okay, so I'm
honestly all the place. Oh yeah, Silver Shoes is a big theater nerd, so Silver Shoes is exciting.
We love that.
Yeah.
I'm an oldest sibling. It's just me and my sister. Just two of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what that experience was. Tell me what it was like being the youngest of four. Just like the dynamics of that.
Sure. I was the biggest fucking brat in the goddamn world. So
like a stereotypical youngest child kind of thing.
It may have been worse with me because what happened was my parents, they had a kid every 2 years. And they it wasn't like they structured it that way. That just kind of was like how it turned out. And so, but they had 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the joke was always that my dad just wanted to have 3 and my mom wanted to have 4, so they had 4. But I was actually an accident. Like they had decided, okay, we're gonna just have 3 kids, whatever. And then 4 years after their 3rd kid, they had me. And that was not on purpose. And so they decided, what I've been told is they decided to just be like, what if we did it completely different with this kid? Like this kid was a surprise. What if we just didn't have basically didn't have any rules? Because like if you look at like my sister's upbringing, for a while, like she went to Catholic school and then like was raised with like really strict rules. Like she had to sneak out of the window and shit like that, right? By the time it got to me, they either didn't care or were maybe they saw like that made like my sister really rebellious and like a bit of a problem for them to like manage in the teenage years. So they were like, well, maybe we'll like try a different approach with this kid finally. And so they like a good example, like I said, like my sister had to sneak out to like go to a concert with her friends and stuff. I went up to my mom one night And I wish I could tell you how old I was. I want to say it was like 8th or ninth grade. I don't know. Um, and I was like, hey, there's a cast party for the show I'm in. It starts at 11 p.m. And she was like, excuse me, it starts at 11 p.m. Like that's really late for it to start. And I was like, oh, well, okay, it actually doesn't start at 11 p.m. It starts way earlier than that. It's a sleepover and it's only the girls. So I have to wait until so and so's grandma, who she lives with, goes to sleep, so I can sneak in and hang out with them. And then my mom was like, oh, okay, that's I guess sure. And so she let me do it. She just let me do it. She drove me to this person's house and let me sneak in. She's like, you're not gonna like do drugs or anything, right? I was like, no, we're gonna play fucking Just Dance or something. Like,
Right.
like, and she's like, your girlfriend's there, right? And I was like, yeah, my girlfriend will be there. And she's like, okay, when are you gonna pick me up? I was like, well, so the plan is, so and so works like really really early, like a coffee shop or a donut place or something, like really early. So she's gonna drive me. She'll drive me home in the morning, like really early. And my mom was like, okay, sure. And then I did that. I went to the slumber party, and it was like the first time I got to like fall asleep next to like a significant other. And then like woke up, got driven home, showed up at like 7 in the morning, and my mom was like making breakfast or coffee or something. She was doing something, and I walked in. She's like, "Are you just now getting home?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then she goes, "Okay, this can't be a thing that happens all the time." And I was like, Mom, honestly, I'm pretty sure this opportunity will never come up again. And then she's like, cool, do you want an omelet? And I was like, no, I'm really tired. Good night. And so like as long as I was honest and open with my parents, I was kind of allowed free reign. Which was really good for developing my individualism, but really bad for developing any respect for authority ever. So like I was a huge and also honestly the biggest thing was as far as like being the youngest of 4 was it's super unfair to my three older siblings. They all had huge rules, like, and every rule that they had, they just decided to drop it with me. Like I was allowed to have toy guns. My siblings were never allowed to have toy guns. Nothing toy violence at all. I like, you know, was allowed to like play video games that they weren't allowed to play until they were older and stuff like that. Like none of the restrictions existed for me.
Wow.
And so my siblings made sure to let me know how lucky I was frequently. And they didn't always do so in the kindest way.
Right.
No, I mean, like, you know, you get picked on by your older siblings for sure. And I've heard horror stories of like things that are actually bad, but like I just liked getting attention from them. So even when they were picking on me, I was just excited to get attention from them. Like my brothers would make me dress up like we had a little toy box with like with like costumes in it, and like there's like pictures of me like in a tutu and like a wig, and I was Tammy, and then instead of Tommy, and then my brother and his friends would practice wrestling moves on me, like tossing me like on like my parents' bed. They'd be doing like pile drivers and throwing me around, and like just like what something that would like, and I was just laughing and giggling the whole time because it was like it didn't hurt. It was like being in a fucking bouncy balloon, like, you know, a balloon house. But like I was hanging out with my brother's friends, and that was cool. So like even when they were picking on me, a lot of times, I mean, we got in arguments and stuff for sure, and had like tough times, and I genuinely annoyed the shit out of them a lot. But I was always happy because my life was pretty good, and also I got to like, you know, anytime I was messing with them or anytime they were messing with me, it was like interactions with my siblings, which was like fun and good. So I don't know if that's universal for the younger kids. I know the brattiness is a thing that's pretty universal, but mine was like parent enabled brattiness, and then I was just bratty to my siblings. So yeah, that was my weird dynamic. Honestly, the person who got it worst was, as always, the middle child. Which you know, in 4 there's not really a middle child, but we had an older brother, and the eldest was my sister, and then the next oldest was my older brother. So the middle brother was my brother Mick, and he probably had it the worst, where like he still had the rules, but he didn't get the privilege of being the bratty youngest.
Aww.
So like It's just like the worst place to be, I think.
Man. Okay.
I see the chat relating. The
Oh
silver shoes as the
shit.
oldest had to be, you know, the good girl, be the good.
Oh
be the
yeah,
good
you have
one.
to set an
Never snuck
example
out.
for your
Yeah.
younger siblings.
A lot of responsibilities put on the
Mhm.
older siblings
A lot of
to help
pressure.
parent.
And
Yeah.
when they make the wrong decision, it's like, I didn't do that.
You had your door
Wait.
taken off for getting a B plus on a test. Ooh, bite. That's rough.
Wait, Luna, why'd your mom nailed your windows shut if you were on the first floor? Just being on the floor, like being
Maybe
down there,
there
they
was a-
nailed your windows?
That's a fire hazard.
That is not safe.
That's a fire hazard. That's wild.
I feel like
Being
we're
a middle
missing some
child sucks.
context on that one.
Everyone's agreeing with being the middle child is the worst. Yeah.
Oh, because if you were on the first floor, you'd sneak through the window. Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I got the reasoning for it,
Well, I
but it
didn't.
is a
I never
huge
snuck
fire
out.
hazard.
I was
I
the
never had
good.
to.
I was the good child, so I was terrified of getting in trouble, so I never snuck out.
I also was terrified of being in trouble, but I never got in trouble because I was just open and honest. Honestly, I think like the ability for me to like the way my parents raised me, if nothing else, allowed me the ability to just like tell people like everything. Just like be like, hey, here's everything, all cards on the table. If you have a problem with that, like, I guess we should talk about it.
That makes a lot of sense, actually, for how
Yeah.
you tackle problems. I can see that. I see
Yeah.
the connection for sure.
Yeah. All right, I have a final question for you on this wing, and then we'll move on to
Yes.
wing 4. You love to read, and one of your favorite book series is The Mortal Instruments.
Mm-hmm.
It's an intellectual property which has been adapted into both a feature film of the same name and a television show on Freeform called Shadowhunters. The movie was almost universally panned at a 13% rating, and the show managed more mixed reviews at about a 45 out of 100 rating.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the biggest challenge in adapting massively expansive written works into visual media like film or television? And was there anything that you, as a fan of the property, found redeemable or enjoyable about either of those projects?
Mm-hmm. So, as far as converting books into movies or shows, I do think, depending on the series and stuff, the book series, the length and all that, the quality, putting it into a series would be better, because if you're leaving out details, that's where the fan base is gonna just absolutely like pitchfork chase you down for making a bad movie that left out details they felt were important, because they're invested in the story. And the idea of movies wanting to be like an hour and a half max doesn't leave a lot of room to fit those details. Whereas a series, you can stretch it out. I feel like you have more opportunity to do it well. But then there's things like, you know, Lord of the Rings. Look at the fan base for that, and they're 3-hour movies. So I don't think there should be an excuse for making bad book adaptation movies. Personally, especially the Mortal Instruments one.
What about your opinion on the two different projects?
Yeah, the movie, absolute ass. Like, something as basic as the main character's hair color couldn't be done correctly. She's a redhead. It's very, very clear she's a redhead. That actress has brown hair. You can buy a wig. You have the budget. Buy a wig. That's it. There was also some scenes that were done completely wrong. It was just not a good movie. The series I didn't finish, but what I did see, it was a lot more of what I pictured in my brain as I was reading the books. It was much more like true to the descriptions. So I didn't go deep into the series. I don't know what happened. I got distracted. But what I saw, I remember liking of the series. It's the details that matter. As a book reader, like, I was so focused on every detail and imagining everything happening as it was happening. Just that world unfolding in front of me in my little brain. And when I don't see that happening on screen, I am disappointed. But when it's like at least close enough where I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense for this
Where you
character.
can see how they also
Right.
picture they pictured it that way, and you know what? That makes
Yeah.
sense based on the words on the page that we read.
Exactly. It's not like a complete like where'd that come from? It's like it all clicks. It makes sense, and I can like the world in the show or the movie and the world in the book are like all kind of come together in my brain. It works for me that way, but sometimes they don't do it right. And they should probably just not make movie book adaptations anymore.
So it's maybe like a little bit burned for you.
Mhm.
Fun fact on this is I once shared a screen with Catherine McNamara, who is the lead actress in the Shadowhunters show.
Oh, okay.
Her and I were in a student film together on the University of Kansas campus.
Aw.
We were like, she was like my little sister, and so yeah, we played hangman together in between scenes, and then like I knew she was gonna do stuff because like at that point, even when she was a kid, her mom was like her manager.
Oh.
And then like I kind of like fell off contact with her for a little while, and then suddenly she's fucking on TV, and I'm like, what the fuck? And so then when I
That's really
looked
cool.
into Mortal Instruments, like Addie was like, that's Shadowhunters. And I was like, oh, Catherine's thing.
Oh,
that was cool.
okay. Oh, that's super cool.
Weird like kind of like connections there.
Why you
for the
feel
follow,
bad for me,
Nikki.
Kyle? What's up? What the fuck is up, Kyle? Why you feel bad for me?
Damn, Kyle.
What's up? What happened?
Well, what the shit?
I don't feel bad for me. What happened? I'm good.
I feel great.
I think I'm good. Yeah, I think I'm okay.
Thank you, Chris. All right, ready for wing number 4?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Was
Let's
that the Phoenix?
For you, it's the Phoenix. This is where we finally start DB. Because I'm actually, that's the one I'm really allergic to. That one has cantaloupe melon, and I'm allergic to melon.
Oh. I don't love melon. I don't know if I like it.
For me, it is. I'm actually. This is an interesting thing because my number 4 is actually Los Calientes because we have different Los Calientes. I have Los Calientes Barbacoa. So I'm doing Los Calientes Barbacoa, which rings in at 33,000, and Stormy is doing the Angry Goat Pepper Phoenix Hot Sauce, which rings in at 39,000.
Yes. All right, ready when you are.
Cheers.
Immediate no.
Oh, big. That was a big honking wing. It's gonna take me forever to eat this.
Oh no.
So
yeah, so I don't like my hot sauce to taste fruity at all. I don't like that.
See, mine's really tasty because it tastes like the barbecue chips, Lay's barbecue chips.
Oh, okay. I'm getting like a little bit of spice in the back of my throat from this one.
Not
much though.
Here. Not a lot of spice here. Very flavorful. Good sauce. It's a good sauce. I stand by. This was a good one. That's I think I've had yeses across the board with an asterisk on the garlic one.
Yeah.
It's like the garlic one's not bad, but it's really garlicky.
I didn't
This is a really good helping of like barbacoa and taste and flavor.
Yeah, I think the Dawson's was the one that was like
that was
really
the garlicky one. You were like,
yeah,
ooh.
the garlicky one.
Yeah. Stormy
yeah,
doesn't like
Lanish, I do
mangoes.
not like mangoes.
Well, the cantaloupe, yeah, this is cantaloupe melon. Like that's gonna be
I don't really like cantaloupe either. I'm gonna be honest.
Nikki.
I don't like most melons. I like watermelon.
Sure.
But that's still like not. I wouldn't choose watermelon out of a lineup of fruit though.
Okay.
Not a melon girl, I guess.
Oh, wing 4. Oh, you start the questions this time.
Yes.
Let's hit it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
So you wanted to be an actor since you were, thank you, Chris, in 2nd grade, I believe.
Yes.
If someone were to offer you a role right now, what type of genre or role type would you most be interested in? Like a
Uh,
genre of movie or show, or the specific like archetype of character that you might be interested in?
if I were going to continue, like, if I was still acting,
Yeah.
I missed the beginning of that question. I did look at chat.
Like if someone was to offer you a role right now, what would you
Got
like want it to be?
God. So I think the most fun you could probably have in like film is doing either sci-fi or fantasy. I think that's gonna be the most fun. It's where you get to do the most make believe. Like it doesn't even. I'm not even saying like those necessarily have to be lighthearted. Like
Mhm.
I've seen fantasy films and sci-fi films that like have really grounded emotional like characters and scenes that like will like really pull a lot out of the actor and would be equally as exhausting to the actor as something like super grounded in realism, like Marriage Story comes to mind. Um, um, but like the thing is like first off costumes, which would be a split between really cool and probably really uncomfortable. And then like set design and like getting I feel like in those movies you will get a lot more out of the experience of being part of the production and then seeing the finished
Mhm.
product, right? Because in those movies, you're way less likely to be able to have a picture in your head of what it finally looks like until the end. And then when you see it, you're like, oh shit, they did that with that. And like, there's so many little tricks that go into into those kind of movies that like, that I think would be really interesting to be a part of. So I think that would be like the most fun for me. And also just like, the nerd in me loves it, right? That's the other aspect of it. But I also think it's just like you can tell more, slightly more interesting stories, and you're more likely to get like an interesting character arc with also getting pretty cool action at the same time.
Mhm.
And who doesn't want to like, swing a lightsaber around or shoot a laser or
True.
cast spells or be like one of the many characters who looks really cool, like pulling a bow and shooting it off the camera. And then the camera cuts to it hitting perfectly and you're like, yeah, I did that.
Right, sure.
So I think a role like that would probably be the most fun. Like a while ago, I probably would have said like, and I'd also want to be like dashing and cool, but like now I might also like not mind being like more comic relief. Like I could do either.
Do you think you would have a preference between like a movie role versus like a traditional like play, like on stage theater kind of role?
I have a lot more experience with stage
Mhm.
than I do with film. I've never been part of any film that had any sort of budget. But I think it's hard because I like it's two completely different kinds of acting. Because when you're on stage, that's it, right? You're just doing that the whole time.
Right.
That is your performance. It's done and it's gone, right?
Mhm.
And so it's all you. Like it's not all you, obviously. There's a lot that
Right.
goes into the prep leading up to it, but the moment you walk on stage and are starting to do that scene, that's like on you and like
Right.
maybe lights and some of the stage hands who
Right.
are like pulling on some cues,
Yep.
right?
No
Um
redos, no editing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like limited to no music to help push the like narrative behind you, like nothing, right?
Mhm.
And like I'm not saying that is better or worse, it's just really different because I think the thing that always appealed to me more about film that I never really got to dive into was it's not just that. It's you're not just acting, you are creating a production with people. Whereas in theater what you do is you create a production for a while and then you're acting. And that's what you're doing as an actor from there on out. The creation has been done, and now it's like any creative things you're doing are like little things in the moment, like moving your hand in the right spot or like taking it slightly differently or turning your head a different way, but like little tiny things, which like it's a
Right.
fun little nuance you get to do. But like in film, like the thing that appeals to me, and like this is why I like started Big Fun for Valorant and stuff, is like I like it when a lot of people come together and have
Mhm.
coordination and do stuff. And I like the I'm more the appeal to me is more being part of a greater whole. And you get that in theater and you get that in film. And I think I'm probably worse at film acting. Um because the thing about theater, like you said, like once you cross onto stage, you're in it. And it's really easy to just become the character and then you don't have to leave it. And you don't have to pick it back up until the scene's over. Whereas with film acting, it's like, okay, we have to do this. We have to get coverage for this one scene, so you have to do it like 30 times in one day, and there's long pauses in between takes, and you have to find that emotional core over and over and over again. And I'm not sure that I would be able to just like flip it like a switch that way without more practice. So I'm more interested in the challenge of film, but I would definitely would do a better job at theater.
Sure. Hi, Gov.
It's hair wash day. Go wash the hair, boo.
Wash your hair.
I'm already dashing and cool. Thank you. Yeah, I have a lot of allergies, Nikki. Yeah.
Cheese on a what is monkey? What's a watermelon burger? Cheese
Oh.
with watermelon? That sounds disgusting.
Oh no, I'm allergic to watermelon, so I can't really have an opinion on it. But it does seem awful.
And an onion.
Okay.
That sounds
So
like
Stormy,
your
in high
special
school-
sandwich that I will not eat.
So Stormy,
Mhm.
in high school, you were an avid note taker, going so far as to say the act of taking notes was the only way you could focus on whatever was being taught at the time. So my question is, what methods did you use to organize your notes, binders, and folders? And have any of those organizational techniques evolved to be useful in your life as an adult?
So, for the first part, obviously color coding my folders and notebooks. If I had folders for a class and a notebook, it had to be the same color and it was labeled. And each subject had different colors.
Yeah, well, I'm really interested in what color. I think there's a lot of debate as to what color associates with what subject.
I think I varied mine a couple times, but usually, I think math I usually did blue, and English I did purple, and then science was green. And then depending on what other like electives and stuff I had, it would be like red or whatever other yellow that I had, whatever we bought at Target that year. And then science is green. I think I did science green more often than not, but I don't think I did it every time. I'm gonna be honest.
What was red?
Red, I think I did math red a couple times. I don't remember any other subject being red actually, so I might have only done math and red.
What about history or social studies? What color do you associate with that in your brain?
Right off the bat, my brain says purple.
Ah.
I don't know what 10 years ago me thought. I don't remember the details. I don't remember a lot about my school life. I blocked out a lot of stuff. But I know I color-coded.
Look at them go. Look at them all.
Science green, math blue, English yellow, history red.
This is exactly what I wanted to have happen
that
with this
sounds good in my brain.
Was everyone to immediately... I know everyone has opinions on this.
The debates.
Math was always red for me, and I'm not nearly as organized as you, but math was always red for me because similar to what Luno says, math bad, therefore red.
That's fair, yeah.
It's like, stop it with the math, red.
That is fair. I definitely know I never did science red because I loved science, so science was usually like green or purple maybe.
Wait, here's where we can find common ground maybe. Was everyone's the one you liked the least, was that red?
Yeah.
Is that what it always was? So like whatever one was your least favorite subject, everyone went red for that?
Yeah, because it's the doom color.
It's the danger color.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh no.
Boo says no?
Boo says no, because Boo math is red and Boo's good at math.
Oh. I was good at math, but I didn't enjoy it unless the math was connected to science. If it was like doing chemistry equations and stuff, I was all about that. But you put me in, I never took calculus, but if you tried to make me take calculus, I would be mad. I avoided that one. But as far as organization and note-taking, I also liked to have lots of different colored pens. I personally, not a huge fan of Cornell notes. I was forced to do Cornell notes in some classes, but it's just the margin's too small and I didn't like it. I like to have headers, subheaders, bullet points, sectioned off in different colors. Every like section had to have like, if it was a subheading, it was in purple pen followed by like blue text, like all color coded. I also had like those foldable accordion folders, I think they're called,
Mm.
that I kept at home for like keeping everything in case I ever needed it. Because I like to, I periodically like to go and look through things I've written in the past, just to like remember doing it, I guess. So there was that.
Is any of this like, now that you're an adult, are you still do you still have this kind of organizational method where with like the color coding and the like the very like deliberate filing systems and stuff like that?
Not as much. I don't do a whole lot of writing anymore. I don't really have a reason to much anymore. But as far as organization, I bought a filing cabinet just so I can organize like my junk mail, like really. And so I do have that. Everything has like labeled little file folders in there. The bookshelf is a little messy, but it's mostly organized. Like artsy scrapbooking stuff is up here. I'm gonna have books when I find them. They're in my house somewhere. Here, I have some books and like notebooks up there. And then those are like mostly magazines on the bottom. Like I try to keep everything together, but it's not as extensive as it was in high school because I don't do much.
Sure.
I've let a lot of the organization go over time.
Yeah, you would have a nightmare with literally any of my folders. Like one of these days I should share my screen and show you what my stream folder looks like. Because the way you're describing it, you're like, I'm not that organized. I'm like, if I show you my stream folder with like all of the assets for my stream, like from like the little alerts all the way to like everything for Ponchopalooza, it all is in one folder. Just a single folder, just a giant pile of assets.
Do you at least like title them clearly, or do you just like, you know, save default name?
If I think about it, for some of them, I do like I make sure it's like all the Ponchopalooza stuff. I made sure to put Ponchopalooza first in the title so that they were all together.
Right.
But then like any of the GIFs that I used, I didn't think about that when I started it. So they are all just it's just like just a giant like scatter shot of every GIF that I've ever used for stream. Just like because I never put like GIF at the beginning, right? So they're not together. They're just, and there's a lot of things, a lot of assets that are just kind of scattershot in the pile. But I know where everything is. I know exactly how far I have to scroll down to get to my art asset.
Fair enough. Can't hate on that.
I mean, you can.
Well,
it's happened.
Well,
all right.
Did I lead that one, or are we on the next wing?
That was you have one more question for me, and then we move on to fan submitted questions on wing 5.
Okay. The next page, mix it up a little. I did quite an extensive deep dive on your social media.
Oh dear God.
And I saw many pictures of you in t-shirts and dress shirts, even leather jackets, but not a poncho in sight. What led up to you adopting your trademark clothing item? Where'd it come from?
Silver Shoes is freaking out because you just said leather jackets and dress shirts and stuff like that, and Silver Shoes is remembering, I'm sure right now, that I wore like the same leather jacket so the thing is this works perfectly. So you may have seen 2 specific overwears.
I saw everything.
Yeah.
I saw it all.
Two specific overwears that I wore for a lot of those pictures. So one was leather jacket, and then the other one was I had basically like a long pea coat, like little padded shoulders, kind of what you would wear over like a suit. If you were wearing a suit, you'd put the pea coat over and it'd be like long, like that kind of rain jacket you would see people in. I wore that all the goddamn time, like a t-shirt with that. Like that was, I always had that on, and then when it wasn't that, I always had the leather jacket on. So like overwear has been a thing, and it's usually like I have my one thing that is my overwear thing, and so I would put on whatever I would wear, and then I'd throw on the overwear. Right. So like I throw on that long coat for the longest time. Like I wore that all the time. And Silver Shoes says in the chat right there, for a long time in the middle of the summer. Yeah. In middle of summer, I'd be walking around in that big coat. no, like no problem. Like, and like also like the leather jacket. And I'd be like, people be like, why are you wearing the leather jacket? It's like 70 degrees outside or like 90 degrees outside. And I'd be like, it's fine, I'm fine. And like part of it was that I was like kind of fine, but also part of it was like I was like, no, this is I need to wear this. It's like I don't feel like me unless I'm wearing this, right? And so the poncho thing literally only happened because of streaming.
Oh,
Um it was
I
I
actually
didn't
didn't know
wear
that.
ponchos. I didn't wear ponchos before streaming. But I had always like I'd always seen ponchos and been like, oh, wouldn't it be fun to wear ponchos? Too bad, like similar to like you see like Lando Calrissian in like a cape. You're like, too bad capes aren't in style anymore. Like it's like that same kind of vibe where like you see it in a costume, and you're like, that looks really cool, but you can't wear it because it's a costume thing, right? Like I was like, no one wears ponchos. I can't just wear ponchos. And so in the development of my stream name, because my username for the longest time on every video game was Dumb Child, and I didn't want to stream under the name Dumb Child.
Sure,
So for
sure.
the longest time, or I spent some while trying to figure out what I wanted my stream name to be, and I ended up somehow I ended up on I was my brain word association eventually remembered like ponchos and being like I was like poncho's a fun word like like I kind of like ponchos in general. Like I didn't have a huge affinity for them or like even like close to like I never like vocalized like I love ponchos. It was just like always a thing, like a passive thing that whenever someone was wearing a poncho in a video game or a movie, I'd be like, they look cool. And so like somehow I got there. And one of the many things on my checklist of things to consider before I started streaming was like, what the fuck do I wear? Right? Like because I don't want to just like go on like because at that time I was working retail and so everything I wore was just the clothes that I wore at retail. It was like we were given shirts and hoodies, and so I was wearing shirts and hoodies that had the store brand name on it all the time. And so I was like, I had lost all sense of like individuality in my fashion sense. Like I just wore that shit all the time. And so I was like, I don't want to wear that. But I don't have any clothes that really fit me that well anymore. And so then I was like, and I have to like, I'd either expand my wardrobe or I was like, when I came up with poncho, I was like, wait a second, I could just wear ponchos and then it doesn't really matter what I'm wearing underneath because I'm wearing a poncho. Like I just had to, I can just wear a t-shirt underneath and it can like be a graphic t-shirt or it doesn't have to be. And I won't look like super bland because I'll be wearing a poncho. So like, I don't necessarily like the most I have to stress about what I'm wearing before I go live is just which poncho do I feel like wearing. And like usually it's the same one that I wore the last time. It's only like when I'm wearing like a lighter gray shirt, I'll probably put on one of the darker ones because it's the only opportunity I have to wear one of the darker ones. Otherwise, they just disappear into the shirt. So yeah, the poncho thing totally new. Like for as long as I've been streaming, that's as long as I've been wearing ponchos.
I actually
Which is a
thought
weird.
that you were wearing them before and you were just like, I wear ponchos, I'm gonna use that as my name. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I didn't know
No,
that.
it became a thing, and I did specifically when I was pitching this name to people, being like, "What do you think about the Jolly Poncho? I think it would be kind of fun, and I could wear ponchos." And they were like, "Okay, you know that you have to wear ponchos forever if you do this, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know. I think I'm okay with it." I'm like, I think I can do that. I think for my entire life, I've secretly been in love with ponchos, and I'm finally giving myself permission to wear them. It's been my secret little passion that I didn't really even I wasn't even honest with myself about it until 2 years ago. And then I was like, actually I love ponchos and I'm gonna wear them forever. But I do sometimes don't wear ponchos. I'll come clean with everyone. Sometimes I don't wear ponchos. Any of you who are watching when we were at Disney, I wasn't wearing ponchos at Disney. I did wear button-ups though. Because I still need overwear. I can't just wear a t-shirt.
No,
It's not
actually,
allowed.
I'm still a little bit that way, but I was similar. I had to wear a sweater in California summers
Jolly leather
to
jacket.
school.
Jackets and boots were two other articles of clothing that I thought about making my name around, and then
Oh, jolly boots.
Jolly boots. Well, so my nieces, anyone who was there when I called my family on stream last night knows that my nieces call me Uncle Boots, and that's because I always wear cowboy boots. Yeah, I know you don't know this because to you I don't have feet. But
Did
yeah,
y'all know
so
this? I didn't know this.
I may have mentioned it on stream once or twice, but yeah, so I'm Uncle Boots to them. But anything boots related, very very saturated market when it comes to usernames, I gotta say. I couldn't think of anything boots related that felt right, and so I hard turned into something that no one talks about, which is ponchos.
All right.
If I ever get big enough to like go to like the streamer awards or something, though, you better believe I'm gonna wear something. I'm gonna wear some kind of like really, really like stylish thing with a really stylish poncho thrown over
Right.
my shoulder.
The formal
Absolutely.
poncho.
Formal poncho
For special occasions.
for special occasions. Yes. LOL feet stream cowboy boot fashion show. Maybe that's my OnlyFans. My OnlyFans is just pictures of my feet, but I'm wearing the cowboy boots at all times.
There we go. All right.
Formal poncho. All right. Okay, cool. So we move on to wing 5 now.
Yes.
This is
for
another
me.
one where we have it different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So wing 5 for me is it's Los Calientes for you, but the Rojo version.
Yes.
Which is spicier than the barbacoa I just did. I'm doing the 7th Reaper hot sauce. So 7th Reaper comes in at you good? Oh yeah, it's gonna probably be a little bit. 7th Reaper comes in at 59,000 Scoville, and Rojo comes in at 49,000 Scoville.
Yikes, that's a lot.
That's
Okay.
a lot.
Whoops. Okay.
All right, here we go. Cheers.
It's kind of like Tabasco-y for me.
This has a good like creeping burn. A little bit time release on this one. I was about to be like, I don't feel anything, but then it started growing. It's like a slow burn for me on this one. Not very hot though. I wouldn't say like super high on the spice scale.
Yeah.
But it's another one that like if they were advertised at a restaurant as the spicy wing, I would be very content with this. I'd be like, this is really fucking good. It's delicious. I don't know about yours. Mine's fucking delicious.
It's fine. Like I said, it just kind of reminds me of Tabasco, really. Maybe a little bit spicier than Tabasco, but like the same kind of flavor profile for me.
Sure.
So
That
Tabasco.
makes sense. Rojo, like
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Durna.
Durna. Yeah, we're doing the hot ones, Gauntlet Durna. We just finished wing 5. We're halfway through. We're halfway through. Now, with that one, I can kind of see where we're going now. I don't know about you, but like that one had, because mine had enough of a like kind of slow grow burn, and it's lingering a little bit.
Yeah, mine is too.
I can tell where this is going, and this is a perfect time for me to reveal. I have a cut on the inside of my mouth because I have a really bad habit of chewing on the inside of my cheeks. This is the first one that has found the cut and is kind of messing with it a little bit. So, let's go. Yeah, it's a really bad habit I have. Poncho.
Thanks, Chris.
All right. Oh shit. Oh god, I'm getting the big alerts now because it's $5 or it's 5 or more. So this is What Do We Do with the Drunken Sailor playing on my stream.
I can't hear it, so I'm just pretending.
Thank you, Chris. Okay. Now it is time for user submitted questions.
Oh yes.
Rapid fire time.
You said that, I forgot.
It's just me asking you questions right now.
Oh,
Wing 5 is just me hitting you. So this is you're in the hot seat now. All right. Ready?
I think so.
I have 6 user questions from you. If we make it through these fast enough, if you guys drop some in the chat, I'll also live read some questions. But we'll see. Because some of these might require a little more depth. You like that? You like that, Chris? Hot seat. All right, you're in the hot seat. So, question number 1 from Anonymous. Your entire Valos squad is dangling off of a rope, but it won't hold. If everyone stays on, everyone falls to their death. Who do you kick off?
Am I dangling too?
We're talking big fun. We're talking you, me, Boo, Addie, and Chris.
Okay. I think I would kick.
Who do you kick off?
I kick off Chris because I think he would be the most likely to forgive me and understand. And he honestly would probably tell me to kick him off because he'd be like, save the rest. He'd probably throw himself off because it's Chris.
The funny thing about this question for me was that I was like, I think this situation solves itself as we all let go. The moment we all realize, oh no, we're all gonna die if we all stay on, literally all of us are like, bye!
At the same time. Oh my god. Uh-oh, I'm getting dots from Chris. I don't think that I answered that right. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Okay, he said I'm right. I'm safe. I'm in the
He
clear.
said you're right, but it's like, how dare you get such a good read?
Right. Whew.
I honestly, I saw you trying to find your way to it, and I respect the fact that you didn't try to argue letting yourself be the one who falls.
For a second I was like, can I?
You were about to try to go, you were like, am I dangling too?
For a second I did, yeah. I tried.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's not the point. That's not the heart of the question.
I had ways to get you out of it if that's where you went. I was like, I was ready to force you to choose someone that wasn't you.
That's amazing. I'm so glad you were prepared. See, he knows me.
Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, next one. This is from A Wrong Monkey, who, by the way, is the reason I have all of these hot sauces. Thank you, Monkey.
Shout out to Monkey.
This is it's a pretty straightforward one. What's your perfect food? As in, if you could only eat one food for the rest of eternity, what would that food be?
Cheese with hot sauce.
Oh, I don't know if you transmitted. Did you accidentally mute yourself?
Damn,
oh no, it just didn't pick up. It didn't pick up.
Oh, okay. Just cheese with hot sauce.
Just cheese with hot sauce?
It's most, like, I don't only eat cheese with hot sauce now. I mix up other things. Chips with hot sauce, tortillas with hot sauce, maybe a little quesadilla if I feel like standing at the stove with hot sauce. But my diet is bad. I cannot tell you the last time I had a vegetable.
Oh my god.
Years, literally years since I've had a vegetable.
This is wildly relatable to me because for the longest time growing up, I only ate basically like 2 foods. Because until I was like, I didn't have a burger until I was 21 because of my allergies. And it wasn't because I was necessarily allergic to burgers, but I was that averse to trying anything that had multiple ingredients. So like for my entire time in like junior high and high school, my lunch every single time was a packed cheese quesadilla that I dipped in hot sauce. And then when I got out of high school and I started living in my own place, that's what I made myself, was cheese quesadillas that I dipped in hot sauce. And that lasted for a really long time until I was like 20. So basically what I'm saying is you're like 16-year-old me.
I've basically been eating like this since I was like maybe 15 or 16 when my mom stopped like telling me what to eat. It was just like, you're old enough to fend for yourself kind of thing. Yes, Monkey. Like... I don't always get a block of cheddar because like having to cut it, I'm lazy. So I usually do like string cheese or shredded cheese or things like that. But I would, if you gave me a block of cheese and like a knife, I would just dip that in hot sauce and eat it 100%.
Bite, that actually sounds fucking fire. Bite says Birds' snack food is sour cream with hot sauce and Lay's chips. And I was like, that actually sounds pretty good. Like you mix the sour cream and the hot sauce together to make like a creamy dip. Like,
I don't like sour cream, but I feel like if it was spicy, I might like sour cream.
Yeah, like it's a really good thing to add into like make a like kind of a nice little like aioli. Next question.
Yes.
Surprise, you're having a midlife crisis. What do you buy if you have all the money in the world?
Well,
you can't say you're having a midlife crisis. You're fucking like 20.
It's just another Tuesday for me. I like to buy
crisis, midlife crisis.
Okay, fine.
What's the thing you buy? What's the dumb thing you buy if you have all the money in the world in your midlife crisis?
One thing. I would buy. All the money in the world. I would buy. This is gonna sound like a politician answer, but it's something that like my mom dreamt of and I like wanted to do when I was younger before I realized it's not realistic. Is having like a dog shelter, like just rescue every single dog and just have every stray dog have a home, and then that would make me feel good because I fucking love dogs. So just being surrounded by dogs all the time would make me feel better.
What a
I know it sounds like
answer.
But I don't like to drive. I'm not gonna buy a fancy car. Like if I bought a big house, I'd probably have to clean it. I'm not doing that. So like
that's so many. Everyone else is like, I buy like a fucking beach house or I buy like a Bugatti, And
Yeah,
you're
I
like,
don't-
I want all the dogs to have a home.
I would buy all the dogs in the world and just have them all. Like, I don't care about cars. I don't care about like fancy. I don't want 6 houses that I have to keep track of. Like, it's just not my thing.
Wonderful. Okay, next question. Another one from anonymous. The rest of the ones I have are from anonymous. What's the best piece of advice that you received that changed your view on life? If you can pull that one out of your ass right now.
I think it's actually a piece of advice I got from theater, is that I kind of just can apply in general now, is the idea of no one else knows if you messed up. Like, no one can see if you've made a mistake. You just push through it, kind of like idea. Like, you fucked up. You know what went wrong. You know how, like, I translate that to, like, I know how I'm feeling. And I don't need to, like, put that out there and be like, I feel like shit, and then make it everyone else's problem and make everyone else aware of, like, negative things. Because I used to be a very, very negative person. I was not fun to be around. And using that to kind of, like, help me, like, I feel like shit, but the people around me don't know that. So I'm not bringing them down. Just because I don't feel bad, I'm not bringing everybody else down with me. It's okay. Like, I don't know. To me, I know that sounds like suppressing my emotions now that I'm saying it out loud, but I struggle with feeling like a burden on people and like I annoy everybody around me. So being able to put that into like the forefront of my brain, that I'm not doing that because they don't know what I'm thinking. Like, I think that's probably like the most important thing that's helped me, at least lately, like the last 8 years or so.
Yeah,
maybe.
If you do something with enough confidence, people won't notice that you fucked up.
Yeah.
They'll think it was supposed to happen. Next up, what is the one thing that makes the future scary for you? Or rather, what is one thing? Let's go with one thing. What is one thing that makes the future scary for you?
I'm afraid of just never finding like what I'm like supposed to do with my life. Like, just the future is gonna be like just disappointing. I'm afraid of being disappointed in myself.
You are scared of future you looking back and being mad at you.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree. Stormy is the scariest thing about the future. Next up.
Wait, what? Who said that?
Me. I just.
You're afraid of me. I'm afraid of me.
Yeah.
I'm a scary person.
Joke's on you. I'm always disappointed in myself, says Boo. Aw.
Look, I didn't say it.
Silver Shoes agrees with the theater lesson.
I'm not just weird.
Okay. Last question in the hot seat for you, Storm.
Yes.
From it. Unless I missed something in the chat. If you posted a question in the chat and I missed it, you better drop it now. Again, because I'm not scrolling back. How would you define forgiveness, and what does it take for you to forgive someone who betrayed your trust?
I think for me, forgiveness is being able to look at a person, be around the person, and the first thing I associate them with isn't the thing that like they did, or like the way they hurt me, something they said, did, whatever. Like, that's not my first instinct when I think of them or see them. Like, that makes it feel like I've forgiven them. And for me, in general, I've found that the second someone is just honest and apologizes for what they've done, that's when I'm able to forgive them. If they like continue to lie to me, if I ask like, hey, did this happen? And they say no, and I know that's not the case, it's like, I can't forgive you. But if you're straight up like, hey, I fucked up, like, I feel bad about it, I'm sorry, it almost every time immediately just, I'm not mad, I'm good now. Like, that's all I need. It's like the accountability.
Sure. Here to hear. Take responsibility for your actions.
Yeah.
Give reparations. Give reparations. Reparations. Okay. Anyways. Okay. Cool. That's. Wait. Let me double check. Like I said, I wasn't scrolling back through, but I was gonna glance. Okay. We're moving forward. Wing number 6. Let's do it. who says you can betray me and I'll forgive you relatively easily. If you betray one of my loved ones, I hold a grudge like a bitch.
Fair. No, that's actually fair. There are people I still don't talk to because they did mean things to my sister and she forgave them and I didn't. So there is that.
All right. Time for wing number 6.
Yes.
And then you asked me the fan submitted questions. So for me, this is hot and saucy collards in ghost hot sauce, which is this one. I'm really, really excited about this one.
Ooh, the label's kind of pretty.
Yeah, yeah. And then you are doing you're doing Queen Majesty Cocoa Ghost Hot Sauce. That you can imagine, I'm allergic to this one.
Yes.
Mine rings in at 70,000 Scovilles. Yours is 71,000 Scovilles. So
pretty even.
Let's do it. What? Uh-huh. So both of these for both of us have ghost pepper in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can taste that. Ghost pepper's my favorite pepper.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wish I'd known that before I was talking all that shit last week.
It's got a good burn to it. It's got a good burn. Let me tell you, that cut on the inside of my mouth, not very happy with me.
Oh, I bet. I bet. Ooh, okay.
That was good.
It was the back of my tongue. Now it's the whole tongue. All right.
Yeah. Because ghost pepper's gonna grow.
Yeah.
That's what I like about ghost pepper. Is like we are about halfway through what the actual heat of this wing is right now. Because it's gonna keep going. It's gonna keep going.
Yep.
You're about. My mouth is like this is the moment where my mouth would be like, wouldn't it be nice if you drank something right now?
Yeah.
Right. It's like swelling. It's just like a little symphony, like escalating in heat here. But yeah, I'm in the hot seat. Hit me with some questions.
Yes, I'm grabbing the questions because I only wrote down a few of the fan ones for you, and I don't want to only do a couple. Okay. Oh God. So.
Yeah. Now we're in the moment where we have to like
talk
also
like this
talk as the interviewer. Yeah.
This is where it actually starts.
Yeah. We're in it now.
We're in it now. This
like
one's
that,
from
we have 4 more above that.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
This one is from Monkey. It's Snog.
I won't be able to hear you for a second longer. Hold on. I didn't turn off all of my long alerts when people do over 5. So we're good. Okay, hit me with it.
All right, this one's from Monkey. A wrong monkey. The question is, your Snog, Marry, Pie, which is the British version, apparently, of Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Star Wars characters.
Oh, that's hilarious, because Devin just dropped a Star Wars quote in my chat saying,
oh, did he?
This is where the fun begins.
I wouldn't know.
Okay. Yeah, you guys know I like Star Wars. Okay, so Fuck, Marry, Kill or Snog, Marry, Pie. Star Wars characters. There's a lot of Star Wars characters to pick from this. The problem is, like, it's easy to like be like, oh, I just like kill like kill like Palpatine or something. Now the galaxy's saved. But like, I'm not gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with who do I dislike the most and want to kill off? God, there's not a lot of Star Wars characters that I hate. Give me a second. I'm like going through the catalog of Star Wars characters to decide which one is the one that like makes me the least happy. Oh, you know who it is? God, Addy, if you're on the assist, Addy, there's a character from Pantora who is he dies. He dies actually. Well, anyways, there's a character from the planet the planet moon of Pantora who's just a colonizer, and I want to kill him, but he dies in the episode that he's in, so it feels like a cop-out. But a lot of the bad guys die. So let's just go with God, I can't even say C-3PO. I love all Star Wars characters. I thought the kill was going to be the easy one, and now I've realized it's actually the hardest one. I love all Star Wars characters. I kill off
if it makes it easier, Monkey's
I kill off Phasma.
Monkey's version was to just pie him in the face if that makes it feel better.
Actually, you know what? If it is pie them in the face, it is Finn. I pie Finn in the face. I don't want Finn to die, but I do want to pie Finn in the face because he needs to like, they did him dirty in the third sequel because they reverted his character back to what he was in the first sequel, which was his character basically came down to Ray. Like, all he did was just run. He like felt like he had to save Ray, and he had to go with Ray, and he had to protect Ray. And like, they made a joke out of it in the first one because she could protect herself, she could hold her own, and then just went back to it again in the third one, when even though he was set up to like actually become his like an individual human who had like his own personal death and wasn't defined by just being like, we have to get to Ray. So I want to hit him in the pie and be like, bro, she's fine.
All right.
You focus on you, buddy. You focus on you. You got your own shit going on. She's fine. So okay. So I pie Finn. Snog and Mary. It's Snog and Mary, right? So who do I want to make out with? I wanna make out with Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan Kryze. I think Bo-Katan would be a very firm and accommodating lover. And I think that would be a very fun experience. And then who am I? I do love Katie Sackhoff. All right, fine, Addie, you got me. It's because I have a crush on Katie Sackhoff, who's the actress, the voice actress, and the live actress of Bo-Katan Kryze. And exactly, Silver Shoes. Who doesn't?
Addie out here exposing the truth.
Starbuck. I've had a crush on her since Battlestar Galactica. Come on. We watched that horrible Netflix series because she was in it. Another Life. Okay. And then who am I marrying? I'm trying really hard to find a reason not to say that I marry Ahsoka Tano, but like, it's gotta be Ahsoka Tano, right? She'll keep me safe. She'll look after me. She'll have just mountains and mountains of advice to help me through hard times. She is a loyal and amazing companion that will constantly do whatever it takes to get you and her through whatever situation. Or Captain Rex. Either one. I'd take either one of those. I'd marry Captain Rex also, because they both have that quality, and I think either one of them would be a fine forever partner.
All right.
And since I'm polyamorous, I'll take them both.
There you go.
I'm taking Ahsoka and Rex. We're gonna be a power throuple.
Let's go. All right. No, this one's anonymous. Knowing what you do now, what advice would you give yourself 5 years ago?
Start streaming. Quit the job. Start streaming. Do it now. The advice I gave myself 5 years ago is it's not going to change, bro. Get out of there.
Fair.
I stayed in that job for 3 years longer than I should have.
Sure.
I should have absolutely gotten out of there. And honestly, if a version of me could have come from the future to be like, hey, you know how like all the signs are making you think this probably isn't going to work, but I'm still going to try. Just get out of there. If you're in a bad situation, if you're in a situation where it's very much that, like, if it looks like a duck, if it sounds like a duck, it's a fucking duck, right? These people don't care. These people aren't going to change. These people are who they are. You've given them ample opportunity. Get out of there. It's like, stop trying. Yes, I knew Frederick was going to show up for that. Hi, Frederick. Like, that was it. I should have left that job 3 or 4 years earlier than I did, because it was very clear that what I wanted wasn't going to happen. And then I thought, well, maybe I can change it. Maybe I can change him. Maybe I can change him. You can't. It's not worth it. Even if you can, it's not your job. Don't. So, yeah.
True.
All right.
Is that
more? All right.
I mean, that was only 2, but if that could
be God. Okay, I talk forever. See, you're like, I only have like 3 for you, and I'm like, I'm gonna fill 30 minutes of time with answering these questions.
Oh, I mean, that's why I got my phone so I could see the other ones. That's what I just did. What is the most profound and most eye-opening experience you've had?
Honestly, I think it's making it's not just the act of making making the RPG, making Manifest the RPG. It was the absolute low point of making Manifest the RPG. The moment where the shame and the guilt and the stress became so oppressive that I like had a full ass like mental breakdown. Um uh that was wildly eye-opening. I haven't had that cathartic of a breakdown in a really, really long time. Even with all my stuff that I was just talking about. Like that was like a slow oh no. I don't know what just happened. There was like a moment of like Reaper that was like, well, I'm still here, and like got in the back of my throat. That was like more of a like a slow like death. But this one was like a crashing like everything that all the barriers I'd been holding up to try and keep it together just failed. And it was really eye-opening for me because the thing I ended with at the end of it was perspective. Because after having that huge of a meltdown about that thing, I suddenly was able to look at it and be like, wow, that was a lot of emotion about this like when you look at it objectively, this thing does not warrant that much emotional pain. And the fact that I let it have that much weight in my life and hurt me that much for that long, like it's suddenly like at the end of it I was like, this is ridiculous. Like it's ridiculous that I like even in the middle of it, me being like fucking like full snot and tears, like dying and be like, I'm the worst person in the world. And then I was like near the end of it, I was like, as I was still feeling those feelings, I was like, this is a lot. This is a lot. This is a bit much, actually. This is maybe too much. This doesn't match with what I'm upset about at all. It was like fully the epitome of letting it build up so much that it explodes. Um, uh, and so it was really eye-opening in me, and like I think I'll have lasting dividends from that moving forward in life, where when something upsets me, I think I'm gonna have I now feel like I have the tools to put it in perspective and be like, and not like judge myself for being upset about it, but give myself the tools to put it in perspective, which then will allow me to be less upset about it over time. Right?
Mhm.
Like, because I'm like, this sounds bad. This sounds bad, and it's something I don't want to like harp on a lot. But the thing that got me, that like the perspective flip that hit me, was that I was like, I was the Kickstarter all the people I fucked over. Well, we didn't fuck them over, but the people who've been waiting for the Kickstarter to finish for so long, there's 600 of them, and that number seems really big until you're as low as I was in my mental health at that moment. And then suddenly I'm like, okay, wait. Even if 600 people in the world hate my guts, absolutely loathe me and think that I am a garbage human who lied to them and swindled them, and they think I'm the worst person in the world and they want bad things to happen to me. It's just 600 people, man. Like you gotta be able to like put that in perspective and realize there's so many other people in the world, and I mean honestly like so many people in the stream who love you. So like suddenly I was like, oh, oh, people are allowed to hate me, and that's okay. And so then I was able to like stop feeling that massive amount of guilt, because it like finally got to the point where I'm able to be like, maybe people's opinions of me don't matter unless I know them and I decide that their opinions matter of me. And that was really cathartic for me.
Nice. This one's from Gaia. If you
Hi,
could
Gaia.
have, Hi Gaia. If you could have any TTRPG spell or ability, what would it be and why?
This is really funny. I've had a lot of conversations like this, and I've never been able to come up with a full great ability. Um, one argument that I've made and had made multiple times is just to have bardic inspiration, because you can bardic inspiration yourself, and that can help you get through shit that's tough. Like just the ability to be your own hype man or be other people's hype man and have it like legitimately like have a very huge effect on their ability to like achieve what they're trying to do. That's a huge one. Bardic inspiration is probably a huge one. Um, but there's other arguments for like there's so many things you can do with spells. And honestly, just having the ability to teleport would be I like everyone wants to move shit with their mind, and like that's fine. I want to be able to teleport. I want, or like make portals, like make a like dimension door so I can like see what's on the other side, walk through, grab the thing and walk back. Like that's great. Or like that like I'd be the laziest piece of shit, but also like distance would stop mattering and I could travel and like I could see people that I don't get to see. Hi boo. And so like that one probably weighs out on yeah, teleportation circle, I think is what it would be. If we're talking
Alright.
D&D spells, I want teleportation circle or walk through trees, whatever that one is. But that one's kind of tough in modern world where there's not a lot of trees.
Fair.
Prestidigitation, never have to clean or shower again. I know, it's such a useful cantrip. I know. I would want unseen helper though, because I would like, it's not just prestidigitation wouldn't do the cleaning I need. I need someone to like do the sheets and tidy up the trash off the desk. And prestidigitation will just clean the desk. I need an unseen helper to like carry the stuff and like take the trash out for me and like do the dishes and shit. All right, those are my answers. It's not a full answer, but those are the top contenders. And if I had to go with one, probably teleportation circle.
All right, there you go, Gaia. If you could write a book about your life so far, what would be the title? Oh no.
It's just under the poncho.
I love that! Under the poncho! No, that's great. That's actually wonderful.
It's got just like the right level of flirtiness to it too.
Right. It's you.
Yeah.
It's very fitting.
Title of your sex tape.
Oh no. Oh, oof. I think last one. What's the worst thing you ever did as a kid or an adult and got away with?
The worst thing I did as a kid or an adult and got away with?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I already explained how I didn't have to I just did things.
It could be like at one of your jobs or something, maybe.
Sure.
Or you can just say you're a perfect child who never does anything wrong.
I've done bad things. It's just all my bad things are like actual bad things.
Oh, well,
so,
yeah,
like, I'm
of course, right.
I don't have a lighthearted one for this because my mind immediately goes to like during my struggles with monogamy, I was unfaithful to some of my partners in the past, and I feel really bad about that.
Okay.
So like that's it.
All right, Anonymous, that's your answer. We're done with fan questions.
It's a thing that I just like. It's a thing that I can't undo, and it's like I wish I had known sooner that. I wish I could have had an honest conversation with myself and my partners so that we could have avoided all of that pain. Anything else? Or is that it? We're good.
Yep, that's it.
The hot seat's done?
Yep, hot seat's done.
We ended with a downer? All right. Okay.
I thought it would come up something like being a kid or something. Didn't.
Nah, like it's like
I would have done that one earlier if I had realized.
Like I told you, I don't have like any guilt over the things I did as a kid because I just was allowed to do the things that I wanted to do.
Well, it's not about feeling guilty. It's just that you got away with. You didn't have to feel bad about it.
I didn't do bad things.
An adult. I don't think you've done.
Well, I did bad things as an adult.
Okay,
it's
we're
just
not here
adult
to
bad
argue.
things are sad. Okay. Cool. So now it's time for wing number 6. No, 7. 6?
Yeah. 7. We did 6.
7.
Yes, which for me is 13 Angry Scorpions, Jekyll and Hyde, which just sounds mean. If you've ever read the Jekyll and Hyde books.
Yeah.
It sounds mean.
Jekyll and Hyde rating in at 109,000 Scoville, and I'm doing Tyrfing's Curse, which rates in at 99,000. Did I say 109? So 99,000 and 109,000 Scoville. That's what we're working with here.
They're coming out fast.
Yeah, some of them I imagine are pretty liquidy. All right, hold on. All right. This is Tyrfing's
Oh, this one's supposed to. This talks about barbecue in the description.
I'm just gonna double check. Oh, it's yellow because of the yellow bell pepper. Okay, I was like, it was very yellow, and I immediately was like, am I allergic to this?
Oh, this one, yeah. This is scorpion pepper.
Yeah,
it's apparently good for barbecue wings or something.
I'm still gonna try to house the whole thing, but I might regret this. We'll find out.
How?
I'm not getting anything off the back of mine, and I feel like that's a trap.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm being lured into a false sense of security right
Well,
now.
absolutely. Well, hurts to talk a little bit. Like the air makes it worse.
So right now, mine's very tasty. It's very sweet, actually.
Mm.
Honestly, the Seventh Reaper felt spicier than the Tearfing's Curse. But again, I'm waiting. I'm like, surely it's like something. There's like a slight like little storm brewing in my mouth right now, right? So I'm like, I feel like it's definitely going to like. I feel like I'm not out of the woods yet, but like I'm still not getting anything really. I'm like, nah. I'm getting like a little bit of a burn, but like just like a soft light burn across my tongue.
Happy for you.
Less so for you. I mean, I'm sitting there at 99,000
It's a slightly more aggressive burn, and it's also like in the back of my throat just a little bit.
Yeah, this one's really sweet though. I like the flavor of mine. The flavor.
The flavor of this one, I do like the flavor.
Right when you're comfy, it will smack you. Look, I think the swell is done. Like it was definitely, it coated my mouth and like kind of did this like slow burn heat, but it didn't feel like it hit the same peak as the ghost pepper does. So spicy, my body's in denial. Maybe I'm immune now. Maybe I'm just immune. All right.
Press the gauntlet doesn't bode well for me if you're immune.
So Stormy, in high school, you made what I would define as the truly bizarre choice to join the Pentecostal Christian Church, despite not being raised in an environment that promotes such indoctrination. The Mayahi Maya, the Numa Numa Ye song is playing in my ears right now. So we're just gonna sit here for a second.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Okay. So, despite not being raised in an environment that promoted such indoctrination, looking back at what can only be defined as the time that you accidentally joined a cult for a few years, what is the most bizarre act of faith that you observed from another churchgoer?
Ooh. Act of faith.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I'm talking like what were the things y'all were like? I'm talking about like, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so you're talking about that. Okay, I assume you meant like them like putting like something on the line, like because God will handle it, kind of thing. Okay, I mean, you're talking about that
too. I mean, if there's something like that, sure, but like I'm saying there's a lot of options for what you guys were up to that constitutes act of faith.
Yeah, so the denomination of Christianity that I was a part of believed.
I assume it was Pentecostal because
I think it was Pentecostal. I don't remember like for sure because that
told me that
they never talked. I believe that. I don't know if multiple denominations do it or not. Mine did. We never talked about it. We were just like, the Holy Spirit will talk through you and you will speak in tongues if if like you have really strong faith and you're worshiping so hard and so focused on God, He'll speak through you and you will speak like some biblical gibberish that you won't like necessarily understand, right? We had big conventions that we would go to, which were like lots of sermons, group activities, like based around like faith and stuff. And then there was always worship at night where we would all, like hundreds of people, hundreds of kids. It was like a youth conference. And they would have worship music going. And people would like get up to the front and like raise their hands up, or just like there were people falling to the ground speaking in tongues. And I don't even remember if I did it, but I was told that I did it at some point. And I don't know if I was being gaslit or not, or if I like actually made myself believe that that would happen, so I did it. But that I think was the weirdest thing that happened.
I've always like thought about like, oh yeah, so they whip people into such a fervor that they just kind of like do it, and it like they're like, yep, it's working, and like it's all brainwashed and shit like that. Like
Right.
but I never even thought about the notion of like if it doesn't work, you can just tell people that they did do it.
True.
I never like
True.
that's so big brain for the brainwash. That's so it's like it happened, you don't remember. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
'Cause,
next
like-
level.
Because like I said, I love music. I was super into the worship sections because it was just music. So I don't know. When I go to a concert, am I paying attention to what I'm doing necessarily? No. So I don't know. But definitely people that I went to church with were doing it and like falling on the ground and gibberish. And I was just like, the Holy Spirit's there.
Do you have anything that you would
worshiping
consider
hard.
a life lesson from your experience in such like an extremist environment?
I mean, I guess this is kind of like something that I always like was raised to believe and feel and like follow, but then like kind of threw it away when I decided to join the group. Was thinking for yourself. You know, not just taking what people the like authority on the topic is telling you as fact, and just being like, well, that's true then, because they said the Bible said that everything it says is true, so therefore it's true, without
If
like
the math
really
isn't mathing
thinking
for you.
right. Like it was, don't bother doing the math, we did it for you, right? Or it's like, no, do it yourself, think about it yourself. Maybe you have a different perspective and you'll notice something they didn't, or you'll just realize that they're just straight up wrong and you can go away. You can get out of there.
Run far away. Run to Washington.
Think
where-
for yourself
where
and
it's always
run
raining.
to flee the state so you can not go to church anymore without feeling bad.
I had to hit you with that one. Let's go.
I was wondering if you were or not. I was thinking about that.
Absolutely, I was gonna bring that up.
My pages. See, you did all, you typed yours, didn't you? They're all
I
typed
typed
out
out.
in
I
front of
gave
you.
myself a script. Actor.
I wrote my questions in full sentences.
I appreciate that.
All right. You were, maybe still are, unclear based on my social media deep dive, friends with a blacksmith at some point.
Yeah, I am
If
still
you-
friends with him. You guys have seen him in
Okay.
the chat. He's Ket in the chat. I've played Apex with him a couple times with Matamoska and Gibbs Stroyer. Continue.
Sick. If you could smith, I'm assuming it's called smithing, a
Yeah, he's a
weapon
blacksmith.
today. If you could smith a weapon today, what would it make? What would it be? That you made a sword with your friend, I believe, if I recall. But what would you do today?
Oh God, if I could commission Shirk to make a sword for me and have me be any part of the process, I would. And like I don't even know if this is within his wheelhouse. I know he does like a lot of like I haven't seen his craft in a really long time. I bet he's gone like developed a lot over the years. Because he was doing this when I moved away in 2021 or 2011. And he's still like his forge has like gotten like more and more like advanced, and he's like yeah, I just got this new thing that like makes it so like it can hammer this much and this many times and this many minutes, and like then I don't have to do that by hand, which means now I have access to like making finer materials because like it's just physically possible now. He's wonderful, and I know that he could make for me a replica of like a really like, or like he could make me like a really like intricate like rapier. I think I've always liked rapiers as swords. Having never done any actual fencing myself or anything like that, but like aesthetically, I've really like whenever like everyone's running around like being like I'm like gonna like swing a big sword, or like I'm using this cool like double bladed whatever, or like this whatever. Like whenever there's a character like in media, like rapier, like fencers and people who use like rapiers are often like depicted as being like very like graceful and like ballet-esque with their movements and stuff like that.
Right.
And I don't really inhabit any of those characteristics. Absolutely terrible at dancing. Silver Shoes can actually attest to this. as we were made to waltz together in a few
Oh.
shows together. And I was so bad.
Oh
So I'm not good. I'm not graceful, and I definitely don't have any ballerina grace dance experience or anything like that. And so I would never be able to be like those people. But like the concept behind the narrative concept behind a rapier, where it's like you can defeat someone with a bigger, heavier weapon with just like that like perfect precision and that like minimal amount of movement, like just like perfectly, like they're swinging at you full strength, and then you like with just a like perfectly timed, perfectly accurate, perfectly trained movement of the wrist, like guiding the blade out of the way to like open them up and then like get them. Like I've always enjoyed that kind of fight choreography way more than any other fight choreography. Shout out to Count Dooku in Star Wars. So if I could have Ket forge like a beautiful Griffith the White Hawk style, and that's I'm not going to explain that reference, to a rapier, that I could like have like on like mounted on my wall, or even just like hold my hand and pretend like maybe I could do something with it. Like that shit would be fucking amazing.
All right. Solid choice. I like that.
Absolutely. I always Soul Calibur. I forgot his name. Raphael was always my favorite character in Soul Calibur. Okay. You're someone who self-identifies as prone to long-term hyperfixation. You said that the moment that something gives you just a dose of serotonin, you will squeeze out every last drop for as long as it lasts.
Yes.
This sort of like for lack of a better term, obsessive tendency can be observed in your Twitch stream in the way that you happily overindulge in games like Valorant and Overwatch, right? What would you say is or was your longest lasting hyperfixation?
Not just game wise.
Yeah, just like something in your life that like is like fits the category there. That like that is either continuing to, or for the longest amount of time gave you like, who has the longest run for like you haven't squeezed every last drop of serotonin out, you still get it.
Okay. See, the first ones that came to my mind are more recent fixations that I have because I'm still like on them.
You're in it.
So I'm like, push those aside. Longest lasting, probably. I mean, Labyrinth probably lasted the longest. Like the last couple of years, I've chilled out a lot on it. I haven't seen the movie in a few years now, where I used to watch it like multiple times a month.
Yeah.
But that one lasted many years, like a while. So that Labyrinth is probably the number one longest lasting. Maybe Taylor Swift for music. Because when was it? It was
shout out to you.
When did Reputation come out? Because that's where I started to actually give her a chance. Like serious chance.
What's the hit song on because I don't know songs tied to albums, so what's one of the songs, like one of the hit ones from that album?
From that album, Look What You Made Me Do. Most people's like least favorite of the album, really, but I like it.
Sure.
But like around that time when that album came out, because she had been gone for so long, she like didn't make music for like 3 years, where she was putting out an album like every 2 before that. And then she came out with that album.
2017.
Okay, so 2017 to now. So what, 6 years?
6 years
now?
Pretty good hyperfixation.
Yeah, probably those two. There's some other ones that could compete, but those are the first two that I think could be the highest contenders, I think.
All right. I didn't realize we were already at this point.
Yeah. Do we need another question?
No.
No,
there's no more delaying it. There's no more delaying it, Storm. There's no more delaying it. Oh, okay. All right. We're on to wing number 8, y'all. And
little bottle of death and destruction.
I'm afraid to touch it because
me too. They're sticky. They came sticky.
Look at my broken cap.
Oh.
So this is Da Bomb.
Oh no.
Beyond Insanity.
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you have the cap on? Oh, you have to pour it to dip it.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? Put it away. It's gonna hurt you.
It's gonna hurt me anyway.
Here's the, oh God, they're playing the Jaws theme. Here's the thing. Is up until now, I've been housing the wings, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I know the reputation of Da Bomb, but I haven't felt the need to not eat the whole wing yet. Hold on, wait for a second.
Oh, I'm waiting. I will wait as long as you need me to. I'm vibing.
So everyone, this is Da Bomb Beyond Insanity.
Mm-hmm.
It rings in at 135,600 Scovilles. And I think I'm gonna try to eat the whole thing. I haven't had to back down yet. Why would I back down now?
Okay. I'm gonna continue eating my little dinosaurs' heads off.
Love it. All right, guys. You ready, Sor? You ready for it?
Nope.
Cheers. Mm-mm.
Mmm.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Gross.
It's hard to swallow.
Ah. It is hard to swallow.
Oh. Just don't breathe in. Ooh.
Oh, God. It's so gross.
Oh.
It's so gross. Oh, it's the nastiest thing in the world. It's so no flavor, bad flavor, and it is not letting off. It's like not letting off the gas.
It's gotten under my tongue.
It's
It's
not letting off the
burning.
gas at all.
Under my tongue.
What a fucking leap from the last one. Oh my God. It's in my nose. It's in my eyes. Ah!
I hate it here.
It's so gross. It's disgusting.
Ugh.
This is the closest to the Pocky chip that we've had.
It's
And
hurting
now I have
my
hiccups.
teeth.
Your teeth?
Uh-huh.
Ugh. I'm hiccuping. Ah!
I
That's
can't
how you know it's
see.
spicy.
I can't see chat, guys. My eyes are watering.
You were supposed to ask me a question.
Fuck.
But if you want, I can ask you a question. You can ask me too.
No. I'm here.
All right. Hit me with it.
Ugh.
Hit me with it. Let's focus on questions and not what's happening in our mouths right now.
In 2008, you made a skit in which a character used Grand Theft Auto as proof of real life crimes, like criminal activity, as the result of someone playing the
You're talking
video
about Cody
game.
Tommy Adventures right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God.
If you could use cheat
Oh my
codes in
God.
real life to get away with a crime, what would you do? What crimes would you do if you could cheat
I'd do a
codes?
money crime. Money crime for sure, 100%.
Okay.
I would love money to no longer be an obstacle in my life, and I would do whatever cheat code I need to get like $1 million
Okay.
instantly. All right, here's my question for you. It's just there, and it's like the Pocky. It's
You
just
guys
stabbing you in the
can't
tongue.
see. There's a tear going down my cheek. You guys can't see it
Yeah,
on the camera.
I'm
It's
all
not picking
stopping
up.
tears right now.
It's not picking
All right.
up.
So, you grew up within the Gifted and Talented Education Program, GATE for short.
Yep.
Whew. This means that you were identified at a young age as being within the top 5% of children in your academic area. This allowed you extra coaching and attention from adults as they tried to guide you towards your maximum academic potential and development. So my question is, which hurts more? The literal burning sensation in your mouth right now, or the lasting emotional mental scars that you have after all the adults in your life, not to mention your peers, put an unreasonable pressure on you to perform academically and pursue the life structure they deemed most advantageous? It's all just saliva in my mouth.
Yeah. The second part, because this will go away one day. That shit's forever.
You would fair. That's fair. Yeah, this too shall pass, but the mental and emotional scars of being of gifted kid burnout will last forever.
10, I have a quote, don't I? Something about like our emotions being our worst enemy or some shit. Ben has notes. I don't know something
I
like that.
Burns is like swallow because I was trying to get that question out and my mouth was just filling with saliva. I'm glad I didn't just spit everywhere.
I want to like lick something to cool my tongue down.
Right, an ice cube would be amazing right now. But no, we stay strong.
It's calming down a little.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
It still hurts to breathe, but it's calming down a little.
We are on the downslope right now. We are on the downslope. But what a fucking carpet bomb. Oh, that was like
I almost had to like get up and like leave.
What you just went through, that's similar to the experience with the Pocky chip. Like that kind of just like that like this is, hey, we're here for pain feel, right? Where it just is like sharp pain in your tongue.
2 more left, yeah, Devin. 2 more.
And you have a question for me on this wing. 1 more.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
And then we move on to wing number 9.
Possibly the best fact about Chicago, in my opinion, is that that's where the first brownie was ever made.
Oh, fuck off.
Of course. Of course, you can't have brownies.
Yeah, sure.
Because you'll
that's
die.
a brownie question.
So, if you could invent a poncho-safe dessert, describe that. What would it be made out of? What would it be like?
Ice cubes and snow right now.
Yeah, that is a snow cone, sir. That's already taken.
Yeah, a snow cone. Damn it! Fuck. I have to invent something, so something different from everything else.
Yeah. It can be similar, but like unique. Put a unique poncho spin on it.
Yeah.
But it can't kill you.
Well, that's really hard. That's actually an extremely difficult question because me and sweets, there's very few that I can have, so I don't have a very good reference of like what's possible. My imagination is lacking in this department.
Well, you know, it doesn't have to be poncho safe if that helps. And
you're saying a treat, like a dessert type treat, like a pastry or something like that. Like okay.
Something on the sweeter side.
Like my mind goes cookie immediately. Cookies are like my favorite.
Okay.
Like I want some kind of cookie. You know what? If there was a way, one of my favorite donut is a donut from my hometown. That's a cream cheese donut. It has cream cheese inside it, and like frosting on top, and it's like this nice like flaky donut with like filled with cream cheese. It's fucking amazing. And if there was a way to do that, but with a cookie, with the texture of a cookie, with like the like frosting on top and everything, because my other favorite like dessert style treats are like cookies that are like not super mushy, but just soft enough that like there's no resistance when you bite down.
Yep.
And so if you were able to like combine those two things together, which I think like you wouldn't be able to because the cream cheese would make it dissolve, like would make it break apart. I don't know how you would be able to get that consistency of like that kind of cookie with also cream cheese inside it. But if there was a way to do it, I would eat the shit out of that.
That sounds actually delicious. I love that. Good shit. Do you want to do a second dessert just so we...
so that there's more time?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know if we're ready.
I don't know if my body is ready for anything anymore. What are you shaking that up? Oh, you have to...
This is the next one. Yeah.
I was like, we're not on last tab yet.
Every single time. You're like, why are you shaking it? Why is the cap off?
I get scared. Things are happening. Now I feel very vulnerable.
Yeah. I'm very nervous.
Oh. I can't believe I ate the whole thing.
Mine is extra mean green from Pucker Butt, so that doesn't sound very safe. And mine is 702,000 Scovilles.
So yeah, like 6 times or like 5 times the Scoville that you just had.
Yeah.
I'm doing
big ass sleep.
Mine is
allegedly
Dingo Psycho Hot Sauce.
My tongue still hurts.
666 shout out 666,000 Scovilles.
My tongue still hurts.
I'm not ready.
My tongue hurts.
I have a bonus question for you.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hit me.
Yeah, just a quick one. I put this out as a backup question, which I didn't write a script for, but you either have ADHD or identify a lot of your habits of that with ADHD. Like
I suspect it, yes.
Ability to focus and stuff like that. How is it that you're so good at talking to your chat while also being good at the game that you're playing and focusing on the game? Because I can't talk to chat until I'm done doing the thing I'm doing, and then I turn and I go, "Hi, chat." So this is what I was thinking during that process, where you're much better at just like getting it out there as it's happening.
So part of it is because part of my brain, I need to be stimulated on multiple fronts, which is why I can't listen to audiobooks. Like it's one thing. I have to be doing something else. So being able to play a game, listen to you guys in my ears, and then read over here the chat, and then just be able to like respond, it comes fairly easy to me. As well as back in the day when I was streaming to nobody, I I really practiced just talking to myself, narrating my game to myself. So just in that habit of constantly talking. So if I'm not talking for like 30-40 seconds, I start to get like nervous. So I'm like immediately like, is there something I can talk about to
Luna's
chat?
upset that you said that you were streaming to no one. Luna was there.
Not every time, but Luna was there a lot of the times. That is true. That is true.
Okay. All right, we just gotta keep moving. We just gotta keep moving. We just gotta keep moving. Wing number 9. I don't know. I suddenly am terrified.
Yeah.
Like, out
this
of
is supposed
pride,
to be
I want
like
to eat
7 times hotter.
Yeah. As a point of pride, I want to eat the whole thing.
I don't know if you should.
But for the first time, I am afraid that I might not be able to. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it in 2 bites. I'm gonna take it in 2 bites. The goal is to eat the whole thing, but I will be smart enough. I will take 1 bite and then take another bite. The moment, probably before I should, I'll take a second bite.
Okay.
But I need to be able to have the ripcord if it's immediately bad. I just need to.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like eating it at once would be better, because if you eat half and then it starts to dissipate and then you take the other half, it's gonna go back up.
You bring up a good point. You know, also, nothing's gonna be worse than the bomb. We're past the worst of it. Cheers. Let's go. We're fine.
Mm-hmm. I thought I tasted something fruity in this at the beginning, and just nothing says it has any fruit stuff in it, so I don't know. Don't enjoy ourselves? Oh no, we're fine. We're fine.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine.
It's just our mouths.
Yeah, it's just our mouths.
Everything else is fine.
What is this? Is delicious. I'm trying to figure out what. Oh, it has apple cider in it.
Ooh, that sounds fancy.
This is really, really tasty.
Mine
this
doesn't.
is really sweet. Addie, you would love this if you could handle the spice of it. I don't know that you could. This is I can tell. Thank you, Chris. I can tell that this is really, really spicy, but after Damon, like,
yeah, I feel
so much
like
less aggressive.
I really feel like it's not bad.
It's just kind of layered on top of each other now, right? It's like now it's like it's just kind of like continuing.
Thank you,
like
Chris.
It's like a baton pass, right?
Yeah.
Like the bomb just like handed it over to this one, and this one is like probably like feels about as hot, but like it's not as aggressive. It's not actually attacking the taste buds. It's just like there's a hot heat, but like it's the same kind of sensation I was just dealing with the bomb.
Yeah.
So
it feels like just a slightly like muted version for me.
I think in a vacuum, this one hits almost as hard as Da Bomb. But having Da Bomb have like set the stage, this one is just at the feels like it's at the same level, but like nicer. So we're like way not as bad.
Right. It doesn't feel as bad at all.
So you had a lot of potential trajectories for your life and schooling in general, like higher forms of education. Many of which existed within the scope of science and forensics. But there was one thing that caught young Stormy's eye that may have betrayed her need for creativity and artistic expression, and that was cosmetology school. So what was it about cosmetology school that felt like it could ride the line between the academic route that you were expected to take and the creative route that you desired deep down?
So the thing about the cosmetology school idea for me was not to fulfill the academic world that my family expected of me.
So it was a
That
rebellion
was
for you.
oh, kind of. It's like I still wanted to do it. It wasn't just out of spite,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it was also like in
Most
the
rebellions are for a
midst
reason,
of
so.
in the midst of high school and senior year and applying for colleges, I no longer knew what I wanted to do with my life. The path I had planned no longer sounded like what I wanted to wake up and do every day of my life until I die. Like it just didn't sound appealing in that way to that extent anymore. So I was like, I I want to feel like I can actually make like a difference somewhere. And I'm a very insecure person, so I figured I could do something to make other people feel good about themselves. I want to do that. And that's where that whole like idea went to. I toured the school, and I started to feel like I could also incorporate like creativity in there, like helping like with hair. I was gonna do like hair and stuff. Um, just have like a little dose of creativity as well as helping people feel good about themselves. And yeah, did I answer the full question? I don't remember
Well,
how.
yeah. So
if I-
surprise, surprise, you are helping people feel good about themselves. Get wrecked. Yeah, that's good.
Cool. That means it's my turn.
Yeah. I feel like I'm full of just like snot in my nose. It's
Oh,
just
no.
like, I'm like, bleh.
I'm surprisingly not snotting as much as I would expect.
That's like the first thing for me is if a spice hits me, the first thing that happens is my nose goes, "Hey, remember how big I am?"
Oh. I'm like lots of salivating still. That's like most of it for me right now. And it hurts to
my mouth
breathe.
feels so dry.
Yeah, mine too. I want that water so bad.
I looked over and was like, "Oh,
I keep almost reaching.
now
Okay.
this is for the end. This is our reward.
It's like a reward.
It's like a reward."
Many former theater kids seem to end up doing live streams. I've noticed a lot of streamers have some experience in theater.
Uh-huh.
Do you think taking part in theater, especially to the extent that you did, you knew it was what you wanted to do for a long time? Do you think that gave you the skills necessary to do your streams the way that you do and to like the quality that you do? Or do you think you could have been able to do what you're doing now without the theater experience?
No, there's way too much overlap in my experience with theater. There's way too much overlap with the tools I used in theater versus the tools I use here. The main difference is that I had the thought when I started streaming, especially when I was like, I'm gonna start wearing ponchos now and all that other stuff. Like I was like, should I do a character? Right? Should I have a stream persona? Right? Because there's plenty of people that do that. You have like Dr. Disrespect, is a person who immediately comes to mind. Like he straight up plays a character for his stream, right? And like he's like, you know, there's cracks in it and you like can kind of get a glimpse of like who he is, but like, you know, his whole thing is like he's like this like loudmouth, like braggart type person, and you know that it's like a performance that he is putting on. And so I asked myself, like, should I do that? Should I have a character of some kind? And then I decided, especially because of the reason I started streaming being the fact that like I wanted to re-find myself, that instead I like the way I used to be, the happy version of me that I used to remember. I decided I was just gonna be honest and open and just like do the you know the full like transparency honesty thing. While still like managing a lot of like bartending type stuff where it's like I'm still like, you know, if someone's a little bit too hard in the chat or something, I can dial it back and like, you know, manage the tempo of the room, right?
Right.
But the aspects of theater that translate over are like infinitely like they're just, I can point at them all the time because it's like what's entertaining, what's like what looks good, the just like playing to camera being like a huge thing. Like I faced all of my sauces at the camera, like that kind of thing, right? Like that was like intentional when I set this up. Now they're jangled because I was like setting them down, but like there's that. There's finding whenever I set up any kind of special event like this or any of the other things like Sabotage Stream or Poncho Palooza, whenever I'm setting up anything that's not just me streaming, anytime I'm like creating a specific experience, I take into account like the audience's perspective and experience so much that like it's through and through, right? And so like for something like this, I was able like, you know, there's a template that I can use as reference. There's the Hot One show, right? Which is why I wrote all these questions in like my best. I don't remember what Sean's last name is, but Sean, the guy who does the interviews on Hot Ones, like I tried to like match his tempo.
Evans.
Sean Evans. I try to like match his tempo and the like way he applies context for both the person who's being asked the question and for the audience who's missing the things. Because like so often like he's hitting such a weird deep cut question that he's talking about something that you, the audience, don't even know about this actor. So he's like letting the actor know, this is something I know. We did the research. We know what the thing is. I'm going to get enough of a framework so that the audience can come along on this journey with us without having to get the first part of the story. Let's just jump into the part that's interesting to you. Right. And like, I clocked that. And then I tried to like do that in this show where I would be like, hey, let me like add some context and then ask you what my question is. And like, that's like this show. And then like other things, it's all about the production. I feel like I'm putting on a production, right? I'm figuring out what the narrative, like what the arcs are, like where the narrative is, if there's a narrative, how it ramps up, how it goes down, you know, where the tension is, what the climax is. And that's all stuff that it's not even something that I focus on that much. It just kind of happens because of my time in theater. It's like I'm immediately just like I use that language and that like thinking framework every time without even really thinking about it, because those are just the tools that I know when it comes to doing something for people's entertainment. And I think it would be way harder for me to do what I do if I didn't just have those tools absolutely ingrained in my person for after doing theater for fucking like 15 years or whatever.
All right. Also, hi, Heretical.
Heretical!
Heretical!
Hi. Okay, so your hair is almost as iconic to your stream's aesthetic as mine is to my stream. Throughout the years, we've seen your hair shift from black and pink to all black to Jinx blue to Sea Witch green to a blonde green ombre to the sunset color of today. So what techniques do you use to maintain such vibrant colors and transition from one color to the next without causing irreparable damage to your hair?
I've got bad news for y'all. My hair's dry as hell. I'm gonna be honest. When I switch colors, I just slap bleach. I do it at my home. I do all my hair changes are myself. I've been dyeing my own hair for like 10 years.
Yeah, it's just a lot of people that I know, like they struggle with damaging their hair when they dye their hair all the time.
So when I was doing it properly and trying to actually nurture it, I would only change my hair maybe once every 6 months at minimum time between. I would bleach it no more than like twice at a time and then give it like a week. And tons of conditioner, like tons, like too much conditioner to keep it soft. Some people use like hair masks and stuff. I don't. Now I just bleach, like hella bleach, and leave it on for at least an hour, which is a little longer than you're necessarily supposed to. And then I just do the thing, because I don't want to have to bleach it more than once. So I'm like, do it once for a long time and get the color out, so I don't do it 4 times in one day like my sister and end up with stringy, stretchy hair. And then colors, if I'm doing like one color, it's just slap it on and just smear it around. If I'm doing like this time, it was originally 3 colors. It was just kind of meld in like the meeting points, but like that's about, it's not really too fancy. I'm not a professional.
What would the version of you that went to cosmetology school think? How dare?
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I don't section my hair when I do my hair. Like I don't do anything you're supposed to. I don't even wear gloves most of the time. I don't care. I will
Wow.
go to school with blue hands. I've done it once. I'll do it again.
Wow, she's gone absolutely feral. You guys have the stream has changed her.
Don't take advice from me with hair
Well,
stuff.
the funny thing was when I wrote this question, Addie saw it and
Mhm.
was like, you know, the answer might be that she doesn't do anything specific to take care of it. And I was like, then she can tell them all the things she's doing wrong.
I used to take cold showers to keep the color lasting longer.
Yeah. Well, that's
That
the thing. Where,
worked.
like, you had really vibrant colors, and they
Oh,
like
I don't do
last
it
for a pretty
now.
long time. Yeah. Well,
Now it's just the dye that I buy is a better brand than I used to use.
Oh, sure.
I can
Okay.
feel the sauces in my tummy. They're
Yeah,
hot. My tummy's getting
there's-
warm.
We're almost there. We're almost there.
Almost there.
We're almost there. We've basically gone the whole way.
Chris, the brand
Um,
is Good Die Young. It is our Lord and
Die
Savior
Young.
Haley Williams brand.
That's a great name for a hair dye.
Yeah. It's the
All
singer
right,
of
you ready
Paramore.
for this?
No.
I'm gonna get some hype song going. There we go. This is perfect. Needed some inspirational hype music. All right.
I'm not prepared to give you guys in my chat inspirational hype music, so unmute Poncho stream. Oh, I don't know what to tell you.
It's not. We're not going too crazy over here. Don't get too excited. All right. So
Just
is
before they ask for it.
this is the last dab.
Yup.
And on the show, it is tradition. They call it the last dab because it's tradition on the Hot Ones show to put a little extra on the wing, a little extra dab on the wing. So that's what we're gonna do here.
It's gonna be more than an extra
I think I'm
little.
gonna pour it on. Yeah, I think for you, you're already dipping. I'm gonna pour it on the thing, and I'm gonna dab the wing in there. I think is the way to go about it. Like the sauce on the wing there.
It's so much. I'm fine. This is probably gonna be fine.
There we go. You got that extra wet smear on there.
Uh-huh.
Okay, this is the Apollo last dab. It rakes in at 2.5 million Scoville. So here we are, last swing. Look at us. Who would have thought? Not me.
Not me either. No water either.
Let's go. I don't know how to define that taste.
Yeah, me either. I don't like it.
It
It's almost
definitely is like the pepper that was made in a lab.
Mhm. It almost doesn't taste like anything.
Oh, okay. You're up.
It's made with the Apollo pepper. Oh, sorry.
The Apollo pepper. It's their own pepper.
If you could no longer stream video games, what do you think you would most like to stream or make content about in general? Just gaming's
well-
off the table.
Wait, any kind of gaming? Because I would say tabletop RPGs.
Yeah, any
Right.
kind of gaming, because that's
Gaming,
cheating.
Okay, not gaming. What would be the content that I would stream? I would do. You know, like it'd be like what? It's the fucking lamest thing. It would just be people. It'd be like me talking about shit with people. Honestly, I would do movie reviews. I would stream movie reviews. I don't know how I would get around DMCA on that with like copyright and all that shit. So it's not like I could stream the movies.
Wait
In
a
a perfect
minute.
world,
Who
like
are you?
in this fictional
You
world,
guys did so great.
if I could do anything and didn't have to worry about copyright and stuff, doing like a mystery science theater type thing, where I watch movies with people and then talk about them afterwards, I could go really deep into movies and television shows, talking about it. And if it was a television show, we could stream like me just like talking about like my input on each episode after I watch it, right? And be like, okay, I'll watch the next episode and see you guys next Thursday or whatever, for the next episode, and I'll tell you what I think on that, right? I would do that kind of thing.
Cool.
How you doing?
I licked my lips. Now my lips burn.
I have so much input on the Star Wars show. fish. Thank you, Chris.
My gums burn.
Okay. My final question for you, Storm.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's no secret. Thank you, Chris. It's no secret to anyone that your passion for emo music burns as hot as the wings of death themselves. When I asked you what your favorite emo band was, I had to cut you off because you got into you almost were up into the double digits with your list and you were not losing steam. So what is it specific? What is the specific quality or collection of qualities that emo has as a community, as a genre, and as an aesthetic that makes you proud to identify as an emo kid?
All right. I think the most important thing is relatability. You know, they all write songs about being in small towns and having your heart broken and your parents don't give you enough attention, so you know, all the like relatable teenage angst problems. Like there's an emo song that anyone can relate to out there. I believe that firmly. The aesthetic. I grew up with a mother who loves black and skulls, and like you wouldn't catch her caught dead in like a frilly dress. The last time she wore a dress was her wedding, I think. Like I was around that, and so dark things were part of my childhood. And I loved wearing black clothes. So it's just the black clothes and then like the haircuts and the hair color I was really into as a teenager. So the aesthetic is right up my alley. What was the third thing I'm supposed to answer about?
Aesthetic.
I did that one. The other one.
Genre and community.
Community. It's kind of just
shit, right?
Yeah, it's basically just like life is fucking hard and we're all suffering together. Like you and me right now, Poncho. I'm feeling pretty emo right now.
Just like the way we're all, after you go through the Hot Ones gauntlet, everyone is emo. But here we are, here at the end, 10 wings up, 10 wings down. We crushed it without even touching any of the safety lines. We are,
But
you sat there,
still a little.
you sat there with your McFlurry right there within arm's reach and you never went for it. Hats off to you, Stormy. Let's fucking go,
my
guys.
Reward. I feel like my stomach is bleeding.
I am
Just me?
very, so yeah, I like, there's a little bit of a burn there. It's not the worst that I've had, but I also prepared for today. I thought
I did. I had cheese before this.
You had cheese? I had bread. I think maybe that was the main difference.
I should have gone for bread. Thank you, 10.
10,
It's not totally melted. It's not totally melted at all. I'm gonna have a great reward if this ever passes.
Oh my god. Honestly, these were all really good. I'm interested to know what these last two taste like without the bomb, like carpet bombing.
Right.
This one feels like it tasted really good, but also felt like it was pretty fucking hot.
Right.
Same with the Apollo. Well, the Apollo was.
Thank you for
more
the follow,
hot than
Selena.
good. Let's fucking go. We fucking did it, Stormy!
We did it, and now we never have to do it again.
Oh my god, let's fucking go. Hell yes. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions. Thank you to all of you in the chat for hanging out. That's it. That's the stream.
Yeah.
We did it.
Thank you guys for wanting to know more about us.
Yeah.
Like, who are we?
And thank you to Stormy for all the thoughtful questions.
Thank you for Poncho for really being like the brainstorm master of all this, because I was just gonna wing it. Winging it. Oh, my stomach. Thank you, Monkey.
Thank you, Monkey. And also thank you for the hot sauces, Monkey. I'm gonna now I can eat all of these. I'm really excited. Oh my god. You want wings? Go get some wings, guys. And check out First We Feast. Check out the Hot Ones. They're the people. They don't.
This is their baby. We just
they didn't pay us.
them.
They didn't give us these hot sauces. We bought them from them. We owe them no plug, but they deserve a plug because what they do is great. And if you like hot sauce, their hot sauces are really fucking tasty. I can tell you. Some of my favorites were the ones that like they made specifically. Stormy, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
This was awesome. I'm really glad that we finally got to do this after all this time.
Me too.
I cannot fathom being a human right now, so
Me either. I feel like ass.
I think I'm signing off. I'm doing a raid. Do you want to do a double raid?
Do you know who you're raiding already?
No, do you already have a target?
I don't. I was just gonna dip.
You're just gonna end stream?
Yeah, but if we can pick someone quickly, I'm down.
Yo, do you want to raid Casey?
Is it a lady?
It's a lady.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. She's like a big deal Astra main.
Okay.
But she's fucking amazing, and she's playing Valor right now, probably as Astra. She's wonderful, and she deserves your love. So I'm gonna send you all to. We're gonna send all of you to Casey. It's for your raid. It's I'm Casey. IMKAY.
Just the letter M, right?
Yeah. Oh wait! Don't do your raid yet. Prediction.
Oh, the prediction. If you voted neither, you win.
Yeah, neither wins.
How do I?
Neither wins. We fucking pulled it.
10. How do I do a prediction? Like quickly. I don't know how to do it.
Congratulations to whoever won channel points. It looks like Stormy and how did I get channel points?
Didn't you vote on?
Oh
both?
no, this is the I see what's going on.
Slash prediction. Okay.
This was the
Choose the outcome. It was neither. We are both winners today.
We're both winners. Let's go. We believed in ourselves and it paid off in the end. All right, guys.
I got a 10, thanks.
So we're gonna send you to I'm Casey.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Well, you said hold on. Oh, right, I saw the prediction. I don't know what's happening, Poncho.
Your brain, it's like we're in a haze here.
You said
Let's go say hi to I'm Casey. IMKAY.
Okay.
Yeah. Her picture, like you can see like her brown hair and like a blue shirt if you can see her picture. But I'm setting up my raid. Thank you again to Stormy. I'm gonna put a raid message in my chat. If you're in my chat, copy and paste that. And if you're in Stormy's chat, copy and paste that. If you don't have subs to either of our channels, don't worry about it. Just come along for the raid and yell, Poncho raid, Poncho Stormy raid, Poncho. I'm gonna put my raid messages, Poncho and Stormy raid. That's what I'm gonna say. That's
true. Don't copy and paste the messages I sent. I'm gonna.
Shh. It's whatever.
No.
Stormy raid. That's fine.
No, I'm doing it. I'm fixing it.
Right,
copy the next.
Pressure's
no, I'm
on.
not. You're going
Pressure's
first.
on.
I started my raid after you, so bye.
Okay. Thank you all so much. I love you all so much, Stormy. I love you.
I love you
so
too.
Much. This has been an amazing experience. I'm so glad we got to do this. Thank you to all of you. You guys are wonderful. I'm gonna see you guys on Monday, and you'll see Stormy on Monday too, because Stormy's streaming every.
You'll see me for the next 19 days. I can't math.
Goodbye, guys.
Right.
Give Casey our love. Give her a follow and like hit her with like subs and bits and stuff if you really like her content, which you will, because she's amazing. Goodbye. I love you. Goodbye.
Behave in there. We're watching you.
I'm in there. I did it. I hit the button, so now I'm just on your stream.